Hi. Hello, everybody. I am back. Welcome back to another Monique Empath psychic live stream. It's quite interesting the last time we were here. We had a lot of, that was the day Facebook did what it did. And that was an interesting day. So for those of you who were here on, I think it was Monday, and Facebook did what it did, now we all understand why. It wasn't really us. It wasn't it wasn't truly Mercury retrograde. It was Facebook. And we got cut short and we only ended up on YouTube. So that was really fun. I don't know. I haven't watched the replay of it, but I remember it was being really funny. It was a mess. So hello. Good morning, Jeanette. Good morning, Christopher. Hi, Chandra. Hey, Water Sanctuary. Welcome back, Christopher. Hey, Joe Mystics. Happy new moon. Is that what it is? Is it the new moon today? I actually really like stuff like connect to like I was gonna say not astrology, astronomy. Yeah, like the moon, the stars, the energy of those things. I guess astrology really is those whatever, but I mean like I really like knowing. I really like when it's the new moon. I and being a woman, I kind of connect to those kind of things. Okay, so we are going right into it. We have jumped right in. I have I don't have the mod here today. She had to continue her life elsewhere. But I have her laptop. So we're gonna try to mod this as best as we can. Okay, I already see the questions going. Okay, you guys are way ahead of me. So remember, this is a public chat. This is a public thing. People all over the world are seeing this. Hi, Talisha. I'm good. Of course, you can ask a question. Oh, yeah, let me put that banner here. Oh, see? God, I could do everything here. This is her looking at you guys. Okay. See the banner. Did you guys see that? See that? Post your questions in the chat. So here, our regulars know we don't really answer general readings. We ask specific questions. That way we can get more specific answers and we can get, things done. So of course you can have a reading. So of course you can have some answers to questions that you have. What else is going on? What else do we have to say? Remember, this is a public forum. This is a public place. People all over the world are seeing this. I mean, how popular am I? You guys are slightly making me more popular today, but the idea is that a lot of people all over the world are here and watching this. So the people you are asking about can see it. So we want to respect other people's boundaries. So when I answer the questions, I am going to answer it in, you guys might notice that I'll be like, because I'm seeing the question, but I'm also trying to then step out of the psychic energy and whatever, and try to be professional and answer it in a way that we can protect boundaries. Okay. Let's see. I saw some questions up here. How do I go up? How do I use her stuff? Okay. Everybody was just saying hi. Was wondering where I've been. You were wondering where I was. Hey, the way you guys' names pop up looks different. Oh, because it's not set up on. Oh, anyways, but I like it. So I was here. Facebook took a turn, girl. Facebook really just. It was funny because we didn't know Facebook was having a problem, and then this live on Facebook shut down on my end, and I didn't know how to do it, and I was trying to get back, and there was no word saying that it was like an external problem. I thought it was an internal problem. So then we were only on YouTube, and oh my gosh, girl. But I think a lot of people had those kind of incidents that day. Hi, Water Sanctuary. Welcome back. Hi. Could I connect you to Calvin? It's your birthday. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy Earth Day. Happy time around the sun again. Happy, some people say Earth Strong. Happy, happy mother birthing day. Happy to your mother for birthing you that day. Happy all of that. Happy you. Happy a celebration of you. I would sing you happy birthday, but we don't need to go there. Happy birthday to ya. So you were saying you want me to connect you to Calvin. You're connected. What would you like to say to Calvin? What would you like to say to Calvin on your birthday? And I will essentially translate from spiritual talk what he is saying to you. So let me know what you have to say to Calvin. And what do you say? Hi, Joe Mystics. Bless. So it is the new moon. I just went into a whole thing on the new moon. I was just thinking, I just had a whole my mind just went through a whole thing. Like I was just thinking about some things that I usually do, some things that I was planning to do. I didn't know it was a new moon, so that was an interesting thing. But I had new energy in my life. Yesterday was like a weird day where I had to it was one of those. Anyways, you guys aren't really here about me. You're here about yourself. Okay. So here's a question. Again, remember that I might not be answering these questions in the order that you guys think. Like people on Facebook and you're seeing other people, you are thinking that you're it doesn't, we're on two different platforms in two different worlds. So things get jumbled, right? So post your question, I'll see it. What does my friend's brother like about me? Interesting question. What does your friend's brother like about me? So we can cut out the friend part, right? We could just say that person, and I understand the relation to you, who that person is to you. So that's the question. Okay, and the question is not if he likes you, it's what does he like about you? Got it. Let's take a look. Well, right off the bat, I get he doesn't. Okay, hold on. Follow me to the end of my sentence because it might sound weird, but it's a conscious streams of thought, right? Conscious streams of thought. So I get when I step into the energy of that person, there's a feeling they don't know what they like about you, but it's not that they don't like you. It's they don't know. They just they almost this person would think they know you, they're aware of you, there might be an interest, but they're they feel like they don't know you enough. Now, even if they do know you, even if this is a group of people and you hang out with them, can I invite you to this perspective that I might hang out with somebody or be around them, so I essentially know them, but I can still feel like I don't really know them. So that's what I feel. I feel like there's a he doesn't he feels to say what does he like about you. I feel like he would be trying to figure that out as well. But there is a so it's a general I hate to make it sound so spiritual, but there's just a general vibe, for example, I'm not saying this is exactly it, but for example, Talisha, you walking into a room, the way you conduct yourself, the way you is, that's what's kind of there's an interest to your vibe. There's an interest to kind of the word would be attraction. There's definitely attraction. So what is it? It's really, it's kind of the essence of you, who you are, how you carry yourself, those kind of things. Those are what's causing the attraction. As to say, what does this person like about you? You could say all of those, but I think I'm trying to look deeper, and there's a still trying to develop that. They're still trying to figure out that. So answer the question, what does they like about you? Just your energy, just the way you are, what they superficially kind of see about you without knowing who you are. That's what they like about you. How's that? So the next one on my list kind of is, will CJ receive karma for DV and trauma done to me? So I don't look at things as karma. I wouldn't, karma is like a descriptive word. Karma is a subjective word for something. Like, let's say I steal the cookie and then later someone steals my whole entire lunch. That's a series of actions. They may be related, they may not be related, they may be related, but they can call that karma. So karma is a very subjective word. It's like karma is not like in my reading, karma is not like a tangible thing. It's not like an actual thing. It's just how you feel about something. You feel that's karma. There's no factual thing or law or somewhere in the books where you can say that equals karma. Like, you know what I mean? So karma is very subjective. So when I read your question, I read without getting too personal, because you've shared some, but you haven't shared, I read that the question is that you're asking, will there be some direct repercussions that CJ would receive from the experiences that you've had? Is there some direct repercussions? Let me know if that works, because karma is very subjective. Like, karma is like karma is like do unto others as you do unto them. So karma is not even necessarily a bad thing. So you could be asking, does CJ will CJ get the trauma that you had? That could be the question. That's not, you know what I mean? Karma is very subjective. So will he receive, oh, here she goes. She clarified it for us, everybody. So we're going to get the clarification. Just so you know, this is how I would do you guys. I always want you guys to, we're all on the same page. Will he receive direct? So again, so I'm perceiving the question would be, will this person again, I'm reading your question and I could say I'm reading what you mean. It's almost like, I guess you're articulating that you've experienced something and there's a sense of wanting justice. There's a sense of wanting to know if like this person is going to, like, let's say this person has done something to me. Does this person end up having the most beautiful life? Not to say that you're wishing bad life on them, but you're saying, is there some relation between how the person is going to live their life and what things that they've done, correct? So because when you say receive direct, it's kind of like, are you asking if they're going to receive somebody doing domestic violence to them? And that I can't answer, because now we're asking if somebody's going to, if a crime's been committed to you and you're asking me if a crime's going to be, I'm not going to look at that. But anyways, so this is for the sake of the public chat, but I'm going to answer your question in that context. Like, the energy that was put out towards you by this person, do they feel or will receive or experience that reciprocal of that energy coming back? And I'm going to say, exactly. She said, no, he did that to me. Right. So we're not, she's not saying like, I want that to happen to him. And like, that makes sense. So I think that's what we're saying. So the question would be, the energy that was put towards me, will this person have like receive it back in a backfold, or will experience it? Has that energy that they put forward me, will it affect them? And I want to say yes, in many, many ways, in many ways. Whether if we want to call that karma, I don't know. But it feels like this is a person that they've often not had a lot of wonderful experiences in life, that maybe they think they have, but I feel like they've had some challenges in many aspects of their life and will continue to have many aspects of their life. So Ms. Paz, I'm not a therapist, but it's kind of like the internal challenges that they have kind of reflect their life out there. So I'm going to step away from that question, because it's very, it's a kind of question that I wish we could talk about this more privately, where we can actually talk and I could tell you these kind of things. Remember, this is a public thing. But I can say, so I'm going to move away, but in relation to your question or just general, when if I'm doing something negative to another person, there has to be negative things inside of me you can't put out what you don't have. So if you are putting out almost like bullies who are picking on people and being mean, and we understand the concept of bullying is that they've maybe been bullied, and not all the time. We don't want to always say the bully is also the victim. We're not saying that. I'm saying that if you walk around and you're yelling at people or pushing people and stuff like that, you're not having a good day. You get what I'm saying? You're not actually having a good day. To be grumpy is being grumpy. That means your body is experiencing grumpy energy and those kind of things. Yes, there are some sadistic people out there that grumpy energy actually makes them feel good, but it's actually not their grumpy energy. Sadistic people, they're not having grumpy energy. They're doing things for you to cause grumpy energy. So again, they're feeling good. They're just causing that. So that's why I always like karma is like kind of interesting. So it's like, is it really that I stole the cookie from them and now that someone steals something from me? Is that karma? Or is that I lived a life where I wasn't secure, or I wasn't extra secure with my items, or I was carefree with my items and that kind of thing, where somebody else would say, oh, I'm going to lock up the safe and those kind of things. There might be more to how the person is actually living than what we see. It's just we feel it and we want it. So I'm just going to say that anytime somebody's putting out negative energy, they've already experienced it and they're probably received, it's not too often that you see somebody who walks around doing a lot of bad to people and things, and they don't get in trouble with the law. They don't get yelled at. They don't have problems at work. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to say about that. All right, moving on. And Arisha said happy birthday. Well, it wasn't my birthday. It was happy birthday to Christopher. So happy birthday, Christopher. You're getting happy birthdays. So yeah, go back to Christopher. I understand. I just want to know how Calvin is getting on because he passed. Well, people who passed on aren't getting on. They don't live in a life we do. So they don't wake up and maybe have a good day or a bad day. They don't have physical experiences. So how is they getting on? They are almost like they're in a void. Think of it as that way. And I don't want to sound, negative, but it is like that. They're in a void. A void being nothing is happening and nothing is going on. Nothing good is happening. Nothing bad is happening. It's just there. And when we say it's peaceful, because imagine, and it's hard for us in our physical worlds to even, we could think of it, but we can't really wrap our minds about it, because even the ability to think of something and wrap your mind about something is actually contradictory to what a void is, So, it's something that people kind of strive through meditation. You are welcome, Joy. Is something that people try to get through meditation, is that thing of like, you're not thinking of anything and nothing's coming in, nothing's coming out. It's like, it's not that you're super happy, but it's also, you're not sad. Like you're just, and it's not affect, affect when you can't have an emotion. It's kind of like, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to feel. There's nothing. You can just, like, you're just there. And that's why we say it's so peaceful, because peaceful meaning there is no getting on. When we say how they're getting on, there is no getting on, like, so it's kind of, they're there. People who passed on, we worry about them because when, out of sight, we worry about them because we can't experience them. So we worry about them, but it's not quite like that. When people pass on, the person who's passed on, whatever accident or tragedy or not tragedy, some people just pass on because that's what's going to happen to all of us. I should answer this. Hello. they pass, they just pass on. So maybe the experience of them passing on is tragic, like how they passed on, or the sadness, but what's left is us. So we are the most important person when someone passes on. How are we going to function without that person? How are we going to continue? What are we going to do when the grieving, to grieve and all those things? So the people passed on, they're fine, they're great, they're wonderful, they're always, there's no, it's not even a thing to ask. So as for your birthday, Christopher, it's kind of like, I would want to, and this is an assumption, I mean, I'm reading this, but this is an assumption because you didn't ask me and you didn't prompt me to do this. So for your birthday, it's kind of like Calvin is someone that you would have wanted to spend your birthday with in a physical sense. So I think that's what's the question there. It's like, oh my gosh, it's my birthday. And I do that too with the people who meant a lot to me that's passed on. Birthdays are always, mine or theirs, are always interesting. But that's part of the experience that's the part of human experience, that there's times where we can physically be with the people we love, and then we can't physically be with them. They're in another state. So it's like, how are we? And I talk to them. I say, hey, what are we going to do with the people? I go, hey, what are we doing today? It's my birthday. Remember when we did this? I'm going to do this. But it's my experience that I'm having on a physical. And the spiritual connection is knowing that they are not in this place, and kind of adapting to that and saying that they're somewhere else. So it's what I'm putting to them. If I want to have a reciprocal conversation, like if I want to know what they're saying, then that's when I wouldn't seek a medium, because I can do that myself, meditation, but that's the only thing. So if there's something that you want to ask of him, or those things, but how's he getting on? He's great. They're I say great because I'm trying to describe it, but it's like a void. There's no more getting on. So I don't know. I hope that kind of made sense. But yeah, absolutely. On my birthdays, when it comes to people passed on, I do have like a little bit of a ritual and an experience that I do, appreciating, sometimes sad, sometimes I'm bawling. So don't act like it's not like I got it all together. Okay, so we got a lot of questions. We're going to go through them. And don't feel lost, you guys, when I talk a lot with someone's question. That just means that I may talk a lot when it comes to use. It depends on what I have to say. Jeanette. Ooh, I like how it's popping up this way. Okay, Jeanette. Okay, my question is, my husband is in jail since he didn't get... Oh, is your husband in jail since he get child support? I can't answer that because that's like a legal thing. Like that's talking about laws and things. And I know you guys understand that I'm a psychic, so it's really like I'm not like whatever, but I don't, for the sake of the energy, for the sake of the room, I don't want to eat. And when I say, you guys, that I'm not gonna read something, it's not that I'm gonna look and then I'm not telling you. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not going to tell them because of whatever I have. It's like, I'm not going to look, like I'm not even going to allow my energy to do that, because we can all be ignorant about that, those kind of things. So yeah, asking why someone's in jail. I'm trying to think, was that something that I would ask in a private? I may not answer it directly in a private, but we would talk about some experiences, because I get that's your question, but I see there's a lot of things that you're feeling and would like to know and stuff, right? So, yeah, if we were in private, we would be able to, but because remember, this is public, I know it's just us, and we're just like in this room, and you guys are hanging out, and it's just us and the plants, but there's eyes always watching. But go ahead, ask another question. Okay, so where am I? Hello. Again, remember, if it looks like I've skipped your questions, I haven't. Okay. I like, if it looks like I skipped your questions, it's not like I'm like, oh, I'm not answering that person. Sometimes people make really good comments, and I want to talk about that because I like this chit chat we're having. Rushi, you had said something interesting. I'm going to click this. I think everybody has their own journey. Karma delivers in a unique way. So karma knows the best way to deliver. Karma spares no one. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, absolutely. So yeah. It's like I want to add to that, but I'm like, there's nothing to add because that's actually good. Yeah. What I guess I wanted to add was like in reading though, karma is like something very subjective. You can say, did the person go to the store? We can all find out if the person went to the store. You know what I mean? Did the person pass away? There's tangible way to find out if the person passed away. How does this person feel about me? While that's not always tangible, it can be like it's something that can lead to a tangible thing. Like you can ask that person can. So there's a psychic reading. In my perspective, how I give a psychic reading is that I'm giving you information that can be later followed up, or there we can find out. We can, even in some ways we can find out. But karma, how do we define, like, we understand, like, if you say, oh, that's karma, but how does one prove that in fact? Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I always say, because karma might mean many different things to different people. And I also am cautious of the word karma being used in a negative sense. Karma is amazing. Karma is like I want, if there's karma, I want some. I want to know that the positive energy that I'm putting out to people is coming back to me. Like, I want to know that. So karma seems sometimes to be used in this negative sense. So I always want to be cautious of the word karma. It's just talking about energy going in and energy going out. We can, and it's the same thing as do unto others as they would do unto you. Karma is just I think one of those spiritual words that, as people who are very spiritual, as we all are, we get into using that word, and then it takes a whole kind of context in the spiritual community, because if I'm scrolling on Facebook or wherever, and I see a post that says, I don't get revenge, I just allow karma to do what it does. Like, karma is also positive. So, it's like, it's a thing, So I just, that's why I said that. So, but I mean, in the context of karma being what goes out and what comes, what knows the best way to deliver. Yeah, it's cyclical. I guess that's what we're saying. Karma, it's cyclical, and how something might affect you in that cyclical process might be different. You know what I mean? It's a cyclical process. It's basically saying that something's revolving. So it might revolve and hit you here and you feel sad, or it might hit you here. Like, I think that's what she's saying. So I appreciate that. And somebody else said, give out positive energy even if you have a bad day. Change your outlook. See, give out positive energy even if you're having a bad day. Change your mind or your thought, I guess she's saying. You do ask for it. Ask if it good energy you're sending. Yeah. It was kind of, but I get what you're saying. It's like, put out, it's like, even if you're bad at having a bad day, you put out some, like, try to. So if I'm having a bad day, and depending on where I am in the context of my environment at the time, I might say to people, I'm having a bad day. If I respond to that, I might respond a little grumpy, please, I'm articulating that I'm just not in the best of the mood to communicate effectively today. So in a sense, I'm requesting that I get some allowance, but not even also requesting that I get some allowance. I don't need the person to patronize me. It's almost like hey, allow me to have a bad day, and I don't need to fight that. If I'm having a bad day, that means something is off in my life, and I need to sit down and appreciate that. Grumpy feelings, bad feelings aren't it's not horrible. A sad feeling is a representation of something that's going on that maybe we couldn't express. But I find it interesting what you're saying is that, let's say I'm having a bad day, right? The fact that I can even say to people and articulate, hey, if anything, if communication goes wrong today, if there's like a little argument, I'm saying that I can actually admit that I probably am like the reason for it, or I'm probably adding to that. So that alone probably is a positive thing to say. It's kind of letting people taking responsibility. So the fact that I'm taking responsibility might make that other person, when I say I'm having a bad day, say, you know what, today I was gonna kind of get her for the garbage. She didn't take out the garbage, she didn't take out the trash, and it bothered me. But I'm gonna I'm gonna save myself. So so I get the idea of like put out positive energy, but hopefully you guys don't feel like if you're having a bad day that you have to be not like you have to, it's really what's going on. It's the acknowledgement, having a bad day or whatever. I think it's more like people intentionally being inconsiderate, like intentional. Hi, Jamie C. Intentional inconsideration. Or, because sometimes I think I'm doing something really good, and the other person's like, yeah, that actually, so intentions don't negate effect. You could have good intentions, but still hurt somebody. So I think when somebody's intentionally doing something, that's where I think. But I think you guys are all saying the same thing. It's the idea of like the energy you hold within you is the energy that's going to go outside of you, whether you have that intention or not. It's going to go outside of you, and to respect that. I mean, because we're all doing the same thing. So it'd be mean if we judged one person, but we didn't do the same thing. All right, so back to some questions. I like the whole karma thing because karma really gets me. I don't. Yeah, it's an interesting word. Like I get it, but I feel sometimes the context is really different. But Joy, I want to say I got what you meant. Like I understood what your context was. It was just the sake that we're publicly talking. So there's other people. Okay, back to this question. Hi, Monique. Is my property business going to work out well for me? Let's take a look. Okay. Yeah, I see like a consistency. Again, talk about what you put in, what you get out. But anyways, I'm just on that thing. But I do see it working out for you. That I think the questions when I like, will I have income from it? Will I go in debt from it? Will it be something that I keep up? Is this going to be a long-term project that I can sustain? Is this going to be value? I think you mean those things when you say work out well for you, because what I see is like a consistency. Like what you put into it, you get back. So I see money going in, I see money coming out, but nothing off kilter. I'm seeing a consistency of that. So I think sometimes when we ask these questions, we want to know, okay, but when does, things go up? When do I'm like, oh, when do I get my, what do you guys say? The bag? Am I going to be able to have a nice bag? Bag meaning money. I feel like I say these slang terms and then I don't know if anybody else will explain it. And then maybe, maybe it comes back. But I do see that it might take some time to get to that incline where you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so prosperous. This is exactly, but like, I don't see anything really like, I don't want to say negative, but I don't see it going down. And to say going up, I like the term going up because I think consistency is going up from where you might have started with. But I think it stays on that. And I do think there'll be times in the as you're going through this business, saying to yourself, okay, what can we do to increase? What can we do to expand? Like that, I see that for like the next year or so, which I'll let you be the judge of how you feel about that. But I think that's a good place for any business person to be, especially in our day and times, that you're not losing anything, but you are making stuff and things are consistent and this is going. And, moving forward, you're able to sit in a meeting with yourself or whoever you're working with and be able to say, okay, what can we do to improve, and not be in a situation where like, oh my gosh, we have to do this, we have to do that. Got it? That's what Akona Noembe. I have to yell it. I think there was somebody last time that I had to really like yell their name just to get it out, right? The reminder for this was for October 7th. Oh no. What have I done? Yeah, I probably messed that up. I probably messed it up. I'm known to mess things up like that. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Why do you think Facebook really shut down? Ah, she got me. I was like all day thinking like, I wonder if somebody's going to ask me that, because I mean, I have but I am a reader of people and their emotions and feelings and people and relationships and a person's experience, like corporate things, political things. I tend to stay away from, but why do I think, and listen, I am just the media. I'm just the psychic. I don't, how much weight do I have in the world? So I'll share. I don't read that it was accidental. I don't read it was accidental. I feel that there was some, how do you say it? There's like this is how I see it. It looks like there was some internal strife, you would say, internal miscommunications, internal challenges, internal things. And I don't think there was a full intention that morning of, this is what we're going to do, like shut down Facebook or whatever. Again, because I don't feel it was an accident, but I do feel that there was some. Let me take it out of a context and give you an example that applies to what I'm saying. Almost like you say to somebody, I am going to flip that switch. I swear to you, I will flip that switch. And you don't really mean to flip the switch. But then something happens and somebody else comes in and they're like, oh, you're going to flip the switch? Okay, well, if you flip the switch, this is going to happen. And then the switch got flipped. So there was a little bit of a internal communication, choices, decisions to be made that weren't made completely strategically, but they weren't made accidentally. I don't think it was just somebody who just effed up. I think it was, people not agreeing on things or certain things or choices to be made, and then certain things, and then something went wrong. So I think everybody involved in that situation might have been like, oh crap, but at the same time, it's like there's some backstory as to why the oh crap happened. And I mean, there's some what is a speculation that's actually based off of some fact, observation, hypothesis, because there is actually an internal strife going on. So I know I'm picking that up myself, but it's like we didn't need a psychic to read that you can actually Google some of the things that are going on with Facebook right now. There is actually a hearing and stuff. There's some things going on. So me saying that there's some internal strife, I think that's whatever. But can we, outside of me being a psychic, and that's my opinion, is there a fact to say that the internal strife is what caused? No. So that's what I'm saying is my intuition. And that seems to be the question from everybody, is the internal issues that are now external happening with Facebook, are they related to the Facebook issue that happened on Monday? I think yes. That's what I'm going to say. I think yes. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I am on YouTube as well. So this is streaming on Facebook right now. You guys are streaming on, but it's also streaming on YouTube. But apparently the reminder for on YouTube said I was doing this on the 7th, which is tomorrow. No. That was I don't know, my issue. I could see me making that kind of mistake, so I apologize, but I'm here. And will I be here tomorrow? I don't know, but I don't know. Okay, Rushi said happy birthday to Christopher. And it's your birthday too, Chandra. Ah! Oh my gosh, it's like a birthday. I like this. Tell me when you guys' birthdays are. When you're having your birthdays. That's awesome. Okay, so the next that I'm clicking is the question. How has Gigi been feeling about me since we stopped talking? Oh, gotcha. Okay. Not much. I feel like Gigi has, the way I pick it up, it looks like this Gigi has really considered it like it's funny because I'm a medium and I'm a psychic and this is what I'm doing. Certain words that I say that I want to say just like how people would just say it have more meaning because I'm a medium. And I always wonder, because I was going to say she's considering it like a loss. And I think that as for a medium to say, oh, this person feels like a loss, because I'm a medium, it might be related to death. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm like always trying to find the right word of communication. Again, not just for myself, but the word that I'm like, if I say this word, will it communicate the exact thing that I'm seeing to the point that that person understands? So I do feel like Gigi just has considered this as like it's done, like it's moved on, it's whatever. So there's not much like I don't get much feelings. Like I don't, feelings are an attachment, an energy. I don't get that much. So could be like, what are her thoughts of you? I actually feel like some kind of negative thoughts, some positive, like just there seems to be about this lack of the stop of communication seems to be like there was even if it wasn't a severe issue, it looks like this stop of communication looks to be like there was an issue, if I could say. I don't have a better word, an issue. So like, again, it might not have been a severe issue. So it okay. So if I step into Gigi energy, just like, okay, well, that's, all right. Life, okay. How do I feel about water sanctuary? If Gigi was just like some good, just like good thoughts, but also like something about the communication. Yeah. Okay, so did I answer that? How does Gigi feel about me? Gigi feels like this is just something that is disconnected, feels just a disconnection, moving on, or okay, it's those. I hope those describe a feeling. If you, I don't know. I allow you to ask me to follow up on that because I'm wondering if I gave a thing. Oh yeah, over here. The next on my thing. Do you see me happy, cheerful, and excited in the near future? So I'm gonna say that this question is, there's an underlining specific event, or a specific situation, or a specific like thing. So it's asking me if I see you happy and cheerful, that because it might be related to something that might happen. Okay, that's that. Or you could mean if I just see that you would ever in life be happy and ever in life be cheerful, or an ever in life be excited. Like, will you ever have those emotions between now and the rest of your life? I see in your context of excited, yes. Your excited doesn't look quite like other people's excited. And your cheerful doesn't quite look like other people's cheerful. And your happy doesn't look quite like other people's cheerful. And I don't say that because you're different or anything, but it's like me, when I'm happy, it's like I overboard. I'm very dramatic. So people who'd even know me or they're like 10 miles down the road, they could be like, that girl looks happy. But for like well, my daughter's the same, but some emotions with my daughter, she's like so excited out of her mind and she'll look like this. But if you know her and you know the thing, you'd be like, she's so excited. So I do feel that you will have those experiences in the future. Yes. If this question is surrounding a specific thing, saying like sometimes people, not saying that this is it, but it's like some people say, do you see me happy, feeling happy and cheerful next month? And next month they might be going on a trip. So it's kind of like it's the question is, am I going to have this experience at that time because of this, that type of thing. But when you ask if I see you happy and cheerful and excited in the near future, it's like those, do I see that you have the capacity to have those in the near future? And you did say near future. So let's like not say the whole entire stretch of your life. I'm getting a lot of anxious feelings. Anxious feelings there, Rushi. A lot of anxious feelings. Oh, she responded. Oh, okay. So she said, what will make her happy and cheerful? Do you see me excited in the future? I'm always dissatisfied with my current and well, I mean, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a therapist. So if somebody is feeling dissatisfied and anxious, those are articulations of nobody could tell you how you like, if you feel what you feel, it doesn't have to make sense. You feel what you feel, right? So, okay, I know this is not your question. I'm going off alone a little bit. But you're saying what will make you happy and cheerful in the next and excited? And you're saying that you're always currently dissatisfied and anxious. So, it's kind of like there could be something that could happen in your life that could be exciting and reason to be cheerful, but anxiety may not allow you to feel those emotions, or being dissatisfied may not allow you to feel those emotions. And I know I'm giving you the oracle answer, and we don't like the oracle answer here. And for those of you who don't know, the oracle answer is like when somebody says, am I going to complete the test? And then the oracle answer would be, you have it in you to do it. If you believe you are, you know what I mean? And I don't like to give that because obviously the point of this is to kind of give you more takeaways and stuff. But some answers are like that. I swear to you, some answers are like that, especially in the context of these kind of questions. So what will make you happy and cheerful and excited? Now, me as a reader, I shouldn't have to ask you any more questions. Like I shouldn't have to ask you, but it kind of poses is like, it's kind of saying that you have, the way the question is presented and what you're articulating, what I'm reading is that you aren't even sure of what makes you happy or excited. Like you don't even know what could maybe the things that did make you happy and cheerful in the past aren't making you happy and cheerful in you know what I mean, in the future. So to ask what will make you happy and excited, it's like it's kind of stating that, again, right, it's kind of making a statement that right now I'm having a hard time having those emotions. Because could a TV show make you happy, excited? Could seeing a person laugh or meeting a good friend or those kind of things. So anyways, to answer the question, and I kind of was touching on it before, but we got to the second part. When I read you, I pick up a whole load of anxiety. I pick up a whole load of anxiety and a lot of thoughts that sometimes are overwhelming. So I'm reading that's the state that you're in. I don't read that's a reflection of certain how do I say, I'm not a therapist, so I have to be cautious. I'm reading that's what's going on with you in the moment. And I want to say like that how do I say, I want to say that I was going to say that makes sense, but what I'm saying is that I'll put it this way. I have anxiety. I have severe anxiety in the sense I have a disorder that is lifelong. That even if I do all the therapies and everything, I can get to a really healthy state and be healthy, and people be like, there's nothing wrong, be healthy. But I have to always be cautious that certain things I can and cannot do. Kind of like a person who loses a limb, they can they can get an artificial limb and live a wonderful life, but they're not going to they're going to have to do things slightly different than a person with whole limbs. So I have that. So with my anxiety, there's a lot of things that can happen in my life that would be happy, but my anxiety might not allow me to have those feelings at that time. And that's not a crime, and that's not like anything. It's just like, that's just how I am at that moment or in that state, or but I'm not saying that you have a mental illness. I'm not saying that, but I picked up the anxiety, and you said you're dissatisfied. I'm always dissatisfied with my current situation and always anxious. So for you, it may be situational. So it might be that once you're out of this current situation, you could be that. So that would be the answer. But the reason why I didn't say that, because I feel, and let me know, I feel like that's obvious. I was trying to give you a more deeper and introspected. Like if somebody says, I'm unhappy with my house, what will make me happy? You'd be like, obviously another house will make you happy, So yeah, so that's what I want. So I'm going to, and I don't like to do this, but I'm going to like kind of rework your question just because I'm reading you. And I'm going to rework your question in the sense of, does my situation change to a point that I'm happy with? Whatever it is, whether it's an internal situation, external situation, we'll say that. Does my situation change? I get April. I get by April, your situation changes. A lot of things changes for you. I do get there will still be some anxious feelings, but that's just whatever. But I do see that. So hopefully I answered that question. Yes, you wanted to ask that. And see, that's the thing. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm like, I want you guys to know that, yes, you guys are asking these questions, like just in the text and that, but I am reading you. I am here with you. Like I'm with you in your experience within the back end of that question. So I get it. So don't mind me like, blah, 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 blah. I keep saying this, and I just got this saying from doing these lives. If it makes what I'm saying make sense to you, that's where it goes. That's, if it makes sense to you, it's because I'm doing things to get into the deeper part of your question. Because if I say, ask questions, and then somebody goes, what will make me happy and cheerful? And I just go, oh, if I just say, it doesn't give true context. And that's what I always like, that's what I'm trying to do. Everybody else watching is probably like, what she's taking so long. When will she get to my question? But when it comes to your turn, I think, I don't know, and she just said that. She says, I appreciate, oh, you have your birthday in April. So there's some things. You're going to be okay. You're doing okay. Despite how it is, you're doing okay. You're having an actual human experience. So you're a human being a human. And unfortunately, part of the human experience is like a little bit off there. Okay. Jam Tan. And I'm back. Oh, well, welcome back. Hi, Haley Brody. Hi, hope you're well. I'm doing well, thank you. Writing. I can see that you posted a question. And I want to ask if you can see about the guy I met recently, if there really is more than friends. Ooh, fun. Okay, let's take. I do see that there's some romance. There's a romantic. Okay, okay, him towards you. Yes, I do see that there's some romantic. There's some more than friends. I just had to clarify that because when we say is there more than friends, it's like we could probably want more than friends. So I would read that. But then I'm looking at the both of you to answer your question correctly. I do see that there's some. Yeah, I do see that this person has romantic feelings. Maybe struggling with how they're articulating their romantic feelings. Maybe not. Well, I was gonna say maybe first you heard me say maybe they're struggling with their romantic feelings. And then I was going to say, maybe they're not really there yet. No, they're there yet. I actually do read that they're there with their romantic feelings. But I think there's a little bit of this person's having a little bit of a struggle with their romantic feelings. Okay, so let me explain. So let's say I start working outside the house. Oh my God, you guys, remember I was talking about I have issues and I don't leave that. But let's say one day that I get, and you know what? It's such an issue to me when I say I get over the hurdle and work outside the house. To me, I don't even find pleasure in that. It's not even a hurdle to me. So me being a recluse seems normal to me. It's only ever unnormal when other people like, you don't leave the house. You don't talk to people. And I'm like, is that a problem? So anyway, so I'm just using this as an example. Let's say a recluse person like myself started to work outside the house. And working outside the house, I work in an office and there's someone that I'm attracted to. I find them beautiful. I find them handsome. And I'm talking to them and we go out for lunch breaks and stuff. And so I'm actually attracted to them. It's not platonic. But maybe it's because I'm not good at interacting with people. I don't know what to do next, or I don't know what to do with those feelings. Like, I'm attracted to this person. I like them. I have an intimate feeling towards them, but I don't know. Do I want to date them? Is that what happens? Is it possible? We're just friends right now. So that's cool. But what are these feelings? So that's what I mean, kind of struggling, not to say this person's recluse, not to say that, but I'm just trying to articulate situations where somebody can have romantic feelings with somebody, but still be struggling with them on their own. So it has nothing to do with the other person. It's not to say that I'm saying, I don't know if I like the person. I don't know if I want. It's me trying to understand, like, what would the next step be in this romance, or what do those feelings really mean, or what do I really want? So I actually think that's what's going on. So the way that person feels towards you. Tan. I like that. I think I only like it because it rhymes to me. And I like things that rhyme. Oh, I answered that question. See, some of these come back around again. Yeah, this is it. Remember back to our conversation about karma. If I sow the seeds of love, I would reap much more. And then they said, same goes with bad things. If we sow the seeds of negativity, we reach much more. That's it. That's it. I don't even have anything to add to that. That's exactly it for the karma thing. It's more like what you're putting out, you have it in you. So you would, I'm not. Thank you. That's exactly what I feel. So if I plant negativity in something, it's gonna come. That's what I'm gonna get. So is that karma? Yes, but I think again, the way in which we articulate karma sometimes is like you do something, it's gonna come. It's kind of like what you are putting in is a reflection of what you've put in. There, you can't get anything more. If you put in dirt, you're gonna get a plant, but you're gonna get dirt. It's so there will always be karma in that sense, but it's not a negative thing. Karma is not negative. Karma is just articulating a cyclical process or an investment. I like that you nailed it, and you said that a long time ago, and I just kind of popped it up now. So That's exactly it. So if anybody asks me about karma or karma, that's how it my brain and my intuition, or what when I see it energetically, that's how I see. To see karma that way, that's how it looks. So it never looks to me like, oh, because they did this, they got it doesn't, it's I'm looking at the individual and what they're experiencing. So yes, sometimes we're unfortunately casualties in someone's their own cyclical process of karma, but it's not sometimes a complete reflection of us, if that makes sense. You know, like if I'm on a cycle of putting bad energy, so planting bad energy and getting bad energy and planting bad energy, and someone walks by, theoretically or whatever, or not theoretically, metaphorically walks by my life isn't doing it, they're gonna get hit with some of that negative energy, So yeah. Hi, Jamie C. And Tan said, I get it. Thanks. You answered my question and speculation. Gotcha. Okay. That's what I said. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you because I'm speaking to you. So yeah. It's a way of which, well, I guess, I don't know if we've all had this, but like when you're really close friends with somebody, or somebody you've grown up with, doesn't have friends, it's like family, someone you've known for a long time, and you develop a certain like shorthand kind of talk, like you guys have like a kind of, humans are like this. We develop a kind of dialogue or way we talk, or slang words, or not even just how we put words together. And it's like, only you talk to only that person like that. That's what I'm trying to do with you guys. I'm having that with you guys. So that's why it's like, all over the place. Again, of course I'm trying to sell private readings, but I'm not like hard selling it on you. But I'm saying that in a private reading, it's more direct, because it's not like I have to like speak to you in like a subliminal way that only you will understand. Yeah. So again, there you go. That's another one. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. And Rishi said, I always like your insights. Thank you. I always like your questions. I like the energy you bring to the room. So, well, thank you for being here. There was some space vibes. Welcome. How would V feel if I visit him right now? I think overwhelmed. I mean, when you say right now, I'm reading that as right now. I'm reading that as right now, like you're going to get up and go right now. I think that might overwhelm him, V or her, him or her. Again, don't come after me, guys, with my pronouns. If I'm using a pronoun that is not, I don't want to say makes sense to you. That's weird. If I'm using a pronoun that is not the one that you wish me to use, just correct me. But I will use male and female unless I'm advised otherwise. It's a thing. If you would like me to explain how male and female pronouns work within this spiritual realm, I will explain, but we don't have to. Akona Nwande, you are welcome. I remember we read your reading earlier. We did your answer earlier. So you are welcome. Jamie C, you said there's a guy that's giving you, what can we, let's pop it up on the screen, mods. I am the mod. Jamie C, there's a guy that's giving me attention. Oh, what? We like that. Oh, there's more. Okay, there's more. And I'm being shy. It's okay. I'm not a shy person at all. But when I have a crush, I'm a real weirdo. So that's just normal. What being that's that's okay. Energetically shy shows very well. Like, and what I mean by that, let's say I'm somewhere or someone's somewhere. Actually, ask yourselves this. Although there are many times where we're not sure, when we've met a shy person, we've all known they were shy, correct? Like, there's times when you don't really know, but when you even first meeting somebody, or even first going somewhere, or even being in a room and you're not a part of that group and you're looking at a group, like, shy is a very, like, again, there's some times where somebody's shy, but you don't really know that they're shy and they have to tell you, oh, it's because I'm shy. But shy is very, like, I find shy the kind of emotion that's like, it wants to be conspicuous, but it's not, or conspicuous. It wants to be hidden, but it's not. It's a very, like, I can't articulate my emotion, but I'm going to show you. Like, it's very bold. It's very clear. And I say that because when a person being shy does not mean that it does not always mean you're insecure. It does not always mean that you can't, like, being shy is saying that you're not comfortable in this situation. And instead of saying that, your body shows it. Your body will do this stuff. Your body won't talk as much. Your body won't, like this situation. And I'm being shy. So being shy, why would she say she's being shy? Because maybe Jamie, or her, maybe Jamie is not, like, when the person talks to them, giving them attention, talking to them, they don't say much, or they just giggle. So there's an action that they're doing that's articulated. And that is so often, not all the time, and I'll read you specifically if you would want me to look, but often when we're shy around somebody, the other person knows it. The other person really knows it. Not all the time. But that's why I find shy, like, I like, I'm not saying I like that emotion, but it's just like, I find it, the reason why I would say I like it, because I come from a place that when I meet somebody, I see what's going on inside of them more than what they're actually presenting, whatever. So you would sometimes meet a person and they're talking and they're trying to talk and they're trying to be outgoing, but I can read that they're maybe shy on the inside. And then, so now there's a juxtaposition. Now I have a choice to make. Do I respond towards what I'm picking up deeply inside of them, or do I respond to what they're trying to sell me, or what they want me to perceive of them in the moment? So that's always my thing. I don't know. I don't know what, it's just the thing. But shy often is good. Like, it's sometimes really like, yes, Monique, like the person saying, I'm shy. I hope you notice, even though I can't say it and I'm not doing so. So then I know I'm going to approach that person with a little bit more cautious, or sensitivity, or vulnerable because they're shy. So that's why I like that's the only reason why I like shy, because it's like so clear. It's unspoken, but it's so clear. Angry, jealous, scared, anxious, those ones are not, they're not as, an anxious person can really, like, does not want the world to know that they're anxious. Of course, you can keep asking. So you guys can keep asking questions. If you asked one, you can ask another. I always try to make sure I've got to everybody's first question. And then if I see that I've asked, we've gone through them, then we can ask second questions. Like, then, I mean, not that you can always ask your second question, but I'm just saying, I'm going to go to everybody's first. So your second question is going to be a second priority. Uma the First, welcome back. How's your day? My day's going really good. It's the new moon, I heard. So that's actually really fun. And like I was saying, I had an interesting day. It was challenging. It was challenging on the face. Like, the things that I was going through yesterday or having to do were like hard things. I had to think, I had to use my brain, I had to calm my emotions, I had to be grounded to complete the certain things. But underneath it all, it was just a weird day, like a weird thing. Like, just is this like, why would that happen on this day? No, that's not a weird thing. And today's not, but the two of them happening on the same day, it's just, I had a lot of those. And then the day ended on like, I got to, I guess you would say, close all those projects, all those challenging. It's like the end of the day, I was like, oh, okay. A whole bunch of weird tasks came up that I had to do, and I don't know why. And I knocked them all out at the end of the day. So the end of end of the day or going into last night, I was like, whew. So to wake up and hear that today's the new moon, or it's been a new moon, or it was a new moon, or it's going to be new, is just such a, like, that was just fun for me to hear. I'm like, oh, that's fun, because I really did close out the last moon cycle with a very interesting thing. Thank you, but overwhelmed in a positive, negative sense. Almost like an unexpected sense, like that type of thing. And that's why I was stressing the word now. Like, do you mean now? Do you mean like right now? Yeah. Yeah, overwhelm could be negative. Overwhelm can also be positive, and overwhelm could be neither negative or positive. So it's just like kind of like overwhelmed, like a lot of emotions, don't know which one to choose. Okay, I'm seeing this question. Okay. So people who have passed on don't necessarily have messages for us. They sometimes do, but they generally don't. And the reason is someone who loved you, someone who's been in your life, and now they've passed on, they are completely, utterly aware that they cannot communicate with you the way they used to. So someone who loves you would not be holding on to any kind of special message that you have to get a reading for, or pay for a reading, or use somebody else to communicate with you. If I pass on, I will. So I'm not going to knock on wood. I would not want my daughter or my loved ones to ever be feeling like there's something that I needed, that they're missing of me saying. So I would not even put that out back in the universe ever. I think that's, they know they can't communicate with you the way you can. So there's never there's never anything that they need to say, because they know someone's not going to pass on. And then there's like the energy of like, oh my gosh, I have to say, so then you have to talk to mediums, do all these things, go to the other side just to contact them. Like, they wouldn't do that to you. If my daughter comes home and I have to go out before she comes home, I would leave a note. I would say, hey, I'm not going to be here. I'll be back. I just ran to the store. Because I have an active way to communicate with her that she can understand. But if I were to pass, there's not, like, I would not want her to be living her life thinking of there's a message. So that's why most times they don't have a message for you, because there isn't. Now, there's times where it's like something that, again, even if, let's say, you were doing something, or something was happening to you, or something was going to happen to you, and your loved one who's passed on is seeing this, experiencing this, and they want to give you some advice, let's say, about it. They know that you can't, they know that the way in which for you to receive that is quite difficult to see that message. So there's never a situation in your living life as a physical person that you are completely out of help, you know what I mean? to get something, because the only way you could accomplish that is because you need your passed on person to tell you. So I say this, and I say this passionately, because there are people out there who would perpetuate this thing that I'm a medium, and your ancestors or your loved one, they've contacted me to give you a message, so you have to get this reading because it's crucial to your life. That's a manipulation tactic. That is absolutely not me. And to say, have I had experiences where I've had like an energy that's not connected to me, a past on person, come to me, and I'm getting information from them, and then I meet the person who this information belongs to? Yes, that's happened. But that's probably how do you say, there's more of a relationship between me and the person, or me and that thing, like very organically. It gets on your nerves when mediums do that. Thank you. You kind of gave me, by saying that, a little bit of well, I'm not an easily intimidated human being. Let me tell you that. I may act like, oh, I don't want to say, but I'm not very intimidating. But having somebody that I'm communicating to have that response, I'm like, at least my communication is landing on ears that also receive that and also perceive that. So it doesn't seem like I'm being this like hating on other mediums. Hi, Shira. Absolutely. So that's why I want to spread the message. There's never a situation where your past unloved one has to tell you something, or has to. And even if there's something that could be communicated that could benefit you, your loved one would never do that. Like, they would never do that. Like, I think about yourself. You would not put someone you love in a situation where whatever, and anything that you're going through life where you might need advice. Maybe, my friend passed on. It's a complicated one. Thank you for the phonetic spelling, because I have this thing. It's just with myself. It's like a game when I play. Somehow I'm like committed to pronounce all your usernames the exact correct way, and it's like my thing. It's like I give myself a star every time I do. So let's say Raya. Right. Oh. And then that's the thing, when you give me the phonetic spelling, and then let me tell you why. There's Shariah. She came in, and I was trying to pronounce her name, and she giggled at me. It's not a complicated. once you say it phonetically, and I just read things weird. Names, I don't know. I guess I overthink like it's going to be difficult just because of my game. But yeah, there's never a situation, and it's like, okay, so I could say that, and I could say that subjectively. I'm saying it subjectively, but I'm saying it within my experience of being a medium. I've never come across that in communication. My mediumship readings where I'm actually communicating is like I'm literally the translator, a conversation happening between two people, one person in the physical world and one person. So it's never like me. I'm just like literally like sometimes as they're asking and I'm the response or whatever, I'm like also fascinated in the conversation. I'm just like, oh, I've had well, I can speak without talking too much. It's not like I'm divulging information, but I've had a client who her fiance passed, and he did pass suddenly and unexpectedly. And there were some things that she was supposed to do, particularly with his passing, and it was all fall on her. And it was like she's trying to juggle it between his parents and herself, and juggling it in all that way. And yeah, she was trying to juggle all those things. So she came from a medium reading to ask him questions about his mom and what his mom would do, or how does his mom feel about this. So it really was like she just needed this last bit of communication with him to complete something. So it was just like a phone conversation. I was literally like the service provider. That's what I appreciate. That because it's her going into the past one's energy and saying, I'm requesting this of you if it's possible. And that makes sense, but they're not going to have anything to tell you that they don't. Okay, so we have a lot of my example of what I feel is a scam or when I say is taken advantage of, when people are saying, I have a special mess, even non-passed on people, just there's no, if you connect to guides and spirits and angels, and that's how you process your decisions and your connection, your spirituality, that relationship is between you and that angel and guide and spirit. I could sure be the middleman to help you pull things and kind of make sense of what you're seeing or experiencing. But your guide or angel is not going to call somebody up, Moonvid Tarot, and say, you have, like, this is what you hold the power to communicate with that person. Why would they do that? You know what I mean? We as mediums and spiritual advisors or tarot card readers, we are here for you and your experience. We are living. There's a whole other spiritual medium thing that's there for the non-living people. They have their own thing. But yeah. So this is a good example of that. And I apologize everybody that's getting spammed right now by this person. I'll do my best to go down and delete the comments because they're showing up on comments of me, but I can see that on Facebook particularly, they're adding you, they're like replying to you. And I know that might make people who are off, like when you're not on the live, is that you would get a reply from this live conversation and think it's me, and then it's this person. So these people are not affiliated with me, okay? You would most likely not get a reply from me in text on the lives. You would most likely not get a reply from me on text from a live. If you inbox me, you may get me, or you may get somebody who I've helped manage, but they won't respond to spiritual questions. Right? So if you inbox me, you might get a, oh, thank you for contacting Monique, whatever, what can we help you with, or whatever. But if you have like a spiritual question, they're not going to answer. So no one is ever going to answer spiritual questions on my behalf. So this person, Moon Void Tarot, Jamie C. I apologize. We're using Jamie as an example. There was just the first one. My apologies for coming to your comment, spiritually speaking. I came across your profile. So this person is checking out your profile. Not only that they've commented on your good morning, Crystal, welcome. So not only that they're commenting on your reply here or your comment here, they've actually checked out your profile. Okay. And decided to contact you. And the reason why they're contacting you here is because I don't think you can actually friend somebody in this way. So that's why. So they will contact you here. And I would like to have some chat. So this person is saying that they want to chat with you about your spiritual life. Why do they want to talk to you about your spiritual life? Why do they want to talk to you about your spiritual life? Like, why aren't they giving you the power to who that's invasive? No? Is that not invasive? Send me a friend request again, because Facebook knows or these platforms are designed for people to not be able to harass people like this. A social media setup that you approach it does not approach you. It's the same thing with the psychic medium. We show our abilities, we share, we show we were here. It's almost like the olden days way back. We would be sitting in a hut in the middle of the village, and everybody knows what that hut is for. And we just stay in the hut. And then people who need spiritual guidance or need to think, they come to the hut. You know what I mean? That's how we operate. This is who we are. Sometimes in some cultures, they wear special hats or special masks or special headdresses. We show ourselves. We are the peacock. We say, hello, for you to come to us. There is no us running around to people. Invasive. Oh my gosh, absolutely invasive. And it makes no sense in the concept of spiritual thing. If somebody's trying to sell you a new internet plan, I can see that they would have to come to you because this is something that is not about your life per se. This is about a product. And we're saying, hey, you know what I mean? That makes sense. But when it's about you, no doctor is going to show up at your house and be like, hi, I want to check your blood pressure and I want to take your blood samples because, you know, I just want to make sure you're healthy. I'm a doctor. Okay. No, you didn't make an appointment. No, you didn't come see me. I come see you. So anyways, I'm making a lot of fun and joke about this. I am going to, delete these comments. Well, the one that pops up on the screen is going to be on the live for other people. But yeah, so I always have to take my chance to do that. I don't want you guys to do that. Anyways, so Crystal, welcome. Thank you. Whatever. I got to go. See you next time. Bye, Space Vibes. Arika, you know what? Again, here I go. Remember, I always complicate the username, and then when I get the phonetic spelling, it's always like much easier than I've complicated. My brain just works that way. So, hold on. Okay, let's new comments. Erica. Jesus Christ. See? I'm like, why don't I just be, it's because I'm playing a game with myself. And you know, sometimes when you challenge yourself to something, you get too like excited. I should just calm the F down, take a moment, take a beat, look at the username, and then process it properly. But I'm just like, I'm going to get it. These people are going to think I'm awesome but anyways. So I'm like 0 for 0 with pronouncing. You too. Okay, so it's not just me. It's just like this, like, I don't know. I guess because in social media world and because of what everything we've done is online, so it's ticked up this whole thing about better online communication. So I just developed that. Before I would be like, I just can't pronounce your name, who cares? But now I'm just like, I gotta get it. Good evening. Okay, so back to questions. So let me scroll up and see. Post your questions in the chat. This is as you guys can see, this is a public place. So I will always do my best to be as detailed with your answer as possible. But I am also, my spiritual self just wants to really blur out all your information and tell you details about your answer. But my professional self is like, be aware of the environment that you're in, that you're public, that this is a vulnerable space for these people. We're talking about their personal lives. And although they're comfortable, you know, it's kind of like you may be comfortable and I allow you guys to feel as comfortable as you are, but it's my responsibility because I can see other things that are going on and I can see who's looking in and I can see who's looking in and why, and the intentions of some other people and why they're there. So, you know, when you know better, you do better. So yeah, but I can answer your question. So I like direct questions instead of general questions because we don't want the like yada, yada, yada. You're going to have a great year. Finances are going to be up around there. There's going to be some money coming in. There's something that you're going to have to do that's going to, you know, whatever. And a big decision. We're not going to do general readings like that. We want specific questions. I do appreciate that you might not have a specific question because you just said, oh, I just wanted to read you right after I said that. I do appreciate that. I understand the concept of like, I don't have anything directly to say. I just kind of want an overall theme. I appreciate that. So don't think that general questions are like the enemy. It's just my process is. My process is. I feel like general questions just give general answers. But remember a couple of lives ago, I said to you guys, if that's my judgment, but if you guys really do appreciate general answers and are okay with the vagueness of a general answer, I will start answering those. Like I will. I just feel like I just want to do something, you know? I want it to be, I don't want to say just impactful, valuable, you know? Am I going to be successful in my endeavors? Well, I see, okay, endeavors. So endeavors is very whatever. So I see a certain endeavor that you're going to, hold on, follow me to the end of my sentence, because it might sound weird at first, but it's going to make sense. Remember, these are just streams of consciousness. Half the time, I don't know what I'm saying until after. It's just, that's it. Just connecting to the energy and speaking. Some call that channeling. I agree. It is like channeling. Okay. So am I going to be successful in my endeavors? So when you say that, so I'm getting this endeavor that you're doing or going to take on, you might be doing it now, but I feel like there's going to be so much challenges around that. But it's not like tragic. It's just like hard to get it done, like hard work, almost like my day yesterday. It wasn't like the day was horrible, but it was just like I had so many tasks, so many things to do, and they were happening at the weirdest times. Like, why did that person call me to do that on that day and that, and why did that happen on that? It was just like that. So I do feel in a global sense that there's an endeavor or something, I'm going to call it project for the sake of doing, an intention that it's going to feel quite like that it's going to feel like what the heck or whatever. And anyways, within that process, I do feel that there's this moment where you like stop it and like you're like, not so much you're like, I don't want to do that, but it's like, it's so like, why is this is not, I need to refocus. Like I need to redo something. I need to really clear the state. And it could be a sense of just being like, okay, wait, let me really figure out what I want to do or whatever, if that's working with me. So it doesn't feel tragic, but it does look like you're going into something that's going to feel that way. Again, general answers, general responses. But if it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. And that's all that matters. Like don't get me about like, I don't think that's enough. If it is enough for you, it's enough for you. So that's what I get. Well, I was going to do it again. I was going to call you Arika. But it's clearly Erica. Like, even as I'm reading, I'm like, what's wrong with me? But there you go, Erica. And her response is yes. Yes. Yeah. So there's that thing, right? So when you say endeavors, I just got this thing. So this project, this intention, this thing that you're this thing. But as in endeavors, when typically when people say endeavors, they just mean all their aspirations and goals and desires. Yeah, I do feel that you're going to be successful in quite almost all of them. The ones that I actually see aren't successful are that, well, not that it's not, hold on, let me make this clear. It's not that I'm seeing it unsuccessful. I'm seeing it quite a bit of like, and I don't even want to use the word challenging because, again, it's like my day yesterday. They were challenges, but they were things I could take on. It just took more effort and it took a little bit more thinking. Like my day wasn't one of those where I knew what I was doing and whatever. It was just like that. So that's what it is. So it's not to say that it's unsuccessful, not to say that it's super challenging, but it's just like there's going to be a lot going on there. And I think in that going on there, you are the one that starts to readjust or reevaluate. And I think that you might decide a different direction within that thing. So is that unsuccessful? No, that's not unsuccessful. Well, that's me being judgment. Everybody has their own feelings and views and expressions of success. And if me personally, if I'm starting a new project, like I started these live streams, I think we're on a month now. We've been doing these for a month. And if I was having challenge with them and whatever, and then I just decided not to do that, even though they were good and whatever, and I decided to do that, I am a person, I would go, that was unsuccessful because I'm just hard on myself like that. But in context, is it unsuccessful? No, it was successful, but I just chose something else. So that's what I mean. But as for like all your goals and everything, I find that I see accomplishing them. And the reason why I see accomplishing them, let me explain to you, Erica, why I see them accomplishing them is because I get a sense with you that you're very like, not all the time, because nobody could be like this all the time, but you very much like know what you want in life. And even if it's something like you're very, I relate to this. I will go for a walk. This is like an example. I will go for a walk in a neighborhood that I've never been. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I like that house. I want that house. And I've been known to move in to places. Like knock on the door. Is this place available? Like, and move in. Like I've done that a couple times in my life. Not lately. My last couple of years I've been in the same spot. But I'm like that. So I feel like you're a kind of person like that. Like you know what you like, or you're very connected to your passion. So things that you are aspiring to do, I feel that they're in your wheelhouse of who you are. Very like, I feel that you would have an energy about you that people who know you could kind of say, yeah, we would see her doing that. Oh yeah, that's something she would do. Like you're very consistent in the things that you like and the things that you don't like. So that's why I see it successful. Not because it's like, oh, whatever. It's just because I think you go towards things that make sense to you, meaningful. And so that's how come it gets accomplished. Okay, so she has some Sprite, and I'm designing and making creative containers. Independently doing it. I don't think that's the thing that I'm seeing that's going to be a bit of, that's going to be a bit, yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. Okay, independently doing anything in business is always a little bit of those challenges, and it's like, what the heck, and whatever. But actually, I'm seeing something else in your life. I actually see that being one of the more like things that flows. Let's use the word flows easier for you. There's something else in your life that's there. But if a lot of this resonates with you, that's good. That's good. That's all that matters. If I make sense to you and it makes sense to you, it matters. If we were in a private reading, then I would be like, that thing is this. This is what I see. And with that business, I see this and that, and I see these, I would, blah, blah, blah. But okay. Hi, welcome. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you. I'm MoniqueEmpath, and I answer questions here. We try to add more value than a general reading. It is a public platform, so we have to be cautious about how much I'm articulating. Lucy's back. Hi, Lucy. Welcome back again. Long time listener. No, you're not the first. No, you've called before, but long time listener. Will the financial property issues be resolved with your ex? Okay. So again, this is one of those things where I'm going to say something and it's directly to Lucy. And so if it makes sense to her, it makes sense to her because I'm saying it in a context to her. So Lucy, the question, will the financial property issues be resolved with your ex? I'm seeing things working out in your favor. And there's a lot to be said about that. I'm seeing that things work out where the feeling that I'm getting from this that you're going to have is like oh, thank goodness, or good, glad, I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy that happened, or that. So it's not, yeah, that's what I'll say there. So will the issues be resolved? You're gonna facing this situation, you're gonna be like, I'm quite interested, and I'm quite fascinated, and I'm quite content or happy or justified. Like, there's a positive feeling that you'll be happy about this. And it will also, sometimes things are like, let's say, like, we're not saying this is what's happening, but to explain myself. So let's say me and my daughter want to go for a bike ride, or she wants to go for a bike ride and I don't. But we haven't gone for a bike ride for a long time, and she really likes to go for bike rides. So I say to her, okay, after school, we will go for a bike ride. Then it pours down rain, like thunderstorms, lightning, hailstorm, we can't go out. So it worked out in my favor. But it wasn't like she decided not to, and then I didn't have. It's like, the universe having a way to make things resolve. So that's my answer to Lucy. You are welcome for the time. Thank you for joining us and hanging out with us here in our wild room. How long have we been? 140? And we went for 3 hours before. We've been known to go for 3 hours here. Sometimes I'm here just deleting these comments from unsolicited spiritual advice. Hello? Would you like a spiritual reading? I'm a spiritual reader. The universe has sent me to read for you. The guides have a message. Hello, message me. Leave me a message. I'll read for you. Of course you can get a reading. Everybody in here can get a reading. But the way we do it, we ask questions. What's your okay. Thank you, Lucy. Her response is thanks. I think I understand your depth interpretation. Yeah. Again, I understand it's not as yeah. Yeah, okay. If it makes sense. Again, I'm always here for a private reading. You guys can click the link in the description. I can add the link. Yada, yada, yada. Right now it's $10 off for a reading. Readings are only $39.80 Canadian, which is like 36 something US. And you get 20 minutes. And I talk for the 20 minutes and we focus on that one question. So if, for example, if Lucy came in for a private and she asked that question, will things work out with the property? I would be able to tell her more details of what I actually see happening with the property and the ex. And I would say, I see this, and I would give her this time frame and those kind of things. And that we would focus on that for the whole entire 20 minutes. And then, yeah. So sometimes we're here. We're going to be here for a while. I feel good. We can keep going. Chandra. Moonfit Terror, we're here from Monique, not you. Get your own life. That's what I'm saying. Like, get their own lives. Like, why can't they get their own life? But, that's the funny thing about karma. Remember we were talking about karma earlier? So they can get their own life, but yet they're going to use my live to sell their services. But everybody in here is here for me and not them. So what does that do for them getting their own? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what you sow is what you reap. What you put into something is what you're going to get out of it. So that's, we have examples out of them all over the place. Okay. I'll keep going back to reading because I'm like chit-chatting. I do Elizabeth. I see you. Kadian, I see you too from YouTube. Oh, you guys are killing me with things. Malanjana, I see you too. I'm doing that face because I'm like, I think I'm giving myself a point every time I accurately pronounce a username. I'm kind of 0 for 0. Or like 0 for 5. Okay. Aphrodite. Aphrodite. Are you the Aphrodite with the actual YouTube? Oh my God, is someone famous here? Are you? Because then that would be funny if you're not. But Aphrodite from YouTube, who does like the YouTube channels, there's a famous person here. Okay. Aphrodite. Are you? Anyways, okay, Monique, where do you see me in 5 years? Like, am I going to, or am I doing my dream job of being a content creator? Whoa, I didn't know you were, but I just felt fame vibes from you. I think okay. No, I'll really read it, but that was interesting. There is a YouTuber, a tarot card reader, a spiritualist that use, and I believe their name is like Aphrodite or Aphrodite or something. If I'm wrong, whatever. I don't know. I don't have these facts. But anyways, let's take a look at you. Whoever you are, I'm going to read your energy. Will that be successful for you? Yes, but I also see you doing some other things. Like, it's almost like content create. Okay. So, okay. Follow me to the end of my sentence, because like I said, it's a stream of consciousness. So it might sound blah, 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 but it goes somewhere. Okay. And I don't have control. I do, but I don't. So with you, I'm seeing this, okay, content creator, that's where we wanted to end up. So that's what you were looking at me at. So let's say we put content creator here, and I do see you in that job, but I'm seeing that the journey to that, like, actually you get some other opportunities. So there's some other things that you're doing. So it's almost like if your journey is on the way to be a content creator, you are going there, but I feel like that journey in itself is going to open up so much doors for you in general. And I do understand that's the nature of content creating. Like, content creators will, be a content creator, but then they get contracts or they get deals or they get this or they start a business. So I understand that's the nature, but I think that's going to happen for you quite rapidly. I'm not taking a look at exactly what you're doing, like what your content is or what your niche is. Or what your niche is, but I'm seeing that okay, we all understand now, right? Like, we're all the way in 2020. So we understand that content creating is a job, but the idea of content creating is people are creating something that it makes sense to them. Like, whether it's a makeup artist or whether it's a review channel, right? It's something. So the thing that is I'm seeing that is going to be very interesting for it, because I'm being pulled in different directions. Now, it does feel a little overwhelming for you, but it's not overwhelming in a negative sense. Like, oh my gosh, this person wants to work with me on this, or I just got this, or we're doing that. So I see actually a lot of things happening to you. And I'm going to say it's within the whole, okay, if we're going to umbrella content creating, yes, it's production, but it's actually marketing at the end of the day. Can we say that? Can we all agree? Can we all agree that it's marketing at the end of the day? Like, it does go on the umbrella of like marketing or product development or those kind of things, So I see that you're going to be in that area. So a lot of opportunities. I know this sounds like one of those readings where it's like, oh my gosh, it was just pure good news she told me. But it's actually that I do see that. And I'll tell you, I'm seeing that not just because of life in the universe just magically works in your favor. I think you got something going on. I'm picking up that you're onto something. You're onto something cool. And you might be sitting there thinking, I want to be a content creator, but I don't even know what I want to start at. I think that's going to be your story when it comes to what you wanted, like that part of you is going to be fruitful. So, I mean, that's my reading. That's what I honestly pick up intuitively. But I think we all can agree that the most successful content creators are doing something that they actually like, right? Like, I mean, there are content creators that are like, what do you call, like, what's the new word for like news reporter? But it's not news, because you have reporters, but what's like content creators that like speak about what's going on in the world? We don't call them news reporters. We call them like, I don't know. But anyways, okay, so those people, we can say that they don't have an actual like inner niche. They're just speaking on it. But I would go ahead to say that even those people who are speaking on different things in the world and universe, they have a special needs of giving information and sharing information and speaking on certain powerful things. So that's what I see for you, Aphrodite. So I'm intrigued. Like, I'm interested. I'm looking out for you. I'm like on YouTube, but I'm not a YouTuber. So I still have the effect that YouTubers are like celebrities. I'm like, oh my God. So if you're on that journey, I think that's awesome, yeah. Thank you. Her response, I'm so happy. I want to be a YouTuber and own a clothing company. See, I knew there was like something that you have that would make sense. And I want to do many things. Thank you so much for my question. I'm also empath and your energy is cool. See, and I, we were probably like, me and you were probably hanging out in the ether through that. So, and that's why I probably lost my ability to like articulate completely and had to like go about. So that's good. That's good. Well, awesome. Go on, girl. All right. And your mom wants to be a news anchor. Oh God, my mom wants to be a news anchor. Again, like I mean, I read you, I gave you your reading, but outside of a reading, just speaking like what my understanding is, it's like it is that when it comes to content creating, it's really personality. It's really what like you have to like to be because it's a community, right? So whatever your niche is, people watch you because they're passionate about you and that, and it's a personality. I just put it under the umbrella of. I wasn't going to put it in the umbrella of entertainment, but that was something that was coming to my mind. But I had to, what is entertainment nowadays? Before, entertainment was like anything you see from the TV. But now entertainment is like, yeah, we don't even call them videos anymore. We call them content. So, I'm an old lady. So, I just have trouble with the words. Okay, somebody asked me if it's cold here. Is it cold there? Well, we are in fall, what we call fall weather. The temperature today, let's check. Is it because I'm wearing a jacket? Because there's a funny reason why I'm wearing a jacket. And it has nothing to do with external temperature. It's 19 degrees Celsius today in my town. Oh gosh, I just posted my town. Well, it's a small. Well, okay. Just don't come to my house. You don't want readers to come to your door. Do you want a reading? I don't really want people to come to my door. Monique, give me a reading. That's the temperature there. I'm wearing a jacket. Oh, I don't know if that's why you're asking, so I'm not gonna I like to share, but if you want to know why I'm wearing a jacket, now it's kind of one of those things. Somebody's going to say, okay, now what? When you talk about something so much, and no, I wasn't talking about it so much because I want to talk about it, but I don't mind. It's just, your only question was, is it cool there? I took it, I went other places. Oh, okay. No, I have it, you guys, here. It's easier to kind of stroll here and pop you guys up here. This is where I could see. That's cold. 19 degrees Celsius. Is it? Is 19 degrees Celsius cold? What's 19 degrees in Fahrenheit? What's 19 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Is it cold? I mean, we have hot summers. Hot summers. And then we have cold winters. So 19 degrees is like not a hot summer. Like that's not hot weather for us, just because we have like 32 degrees Celsius summers, sometimes 35 this last summer. So that's hot. So 19 it's not hot, but is 19 cold? I don't feel it's cold. I think it's like I could wear a sweater. And even if I wear a sweater, I might be warm. That's a good example about perception and why every time I try to give a reading, I'm always looking for the right word to make the whatever, because because 19 degrees is it cold? Like, I don't know, but yeah. Oh, you're in a tropical country like India. Okay, yes, 19 degrees is cold. Absolutely. So it's all in context. Yeah. So that's the weather here today. And for this time of year, this is warm weather for us. It actually should be around like 15 degrees Celsius. Or in India, do you guys use Celsius or Fahrenheit? Americans are the only, they're the only ones that use Fahrenheit, right? Okay, let's get back to questions because I know Elizabeth came in. We have Malanjana. Okay, here we go. And Erica also wanted to add that she was cooking meals for family dinner. So when you talked about how there's one endeavor that I feel like might be complex and might be a thing that she revisits or kind of renegotiates for herself, and there's another successful. Yeah, I think she's articulating like the other things that she does. I'm also cooking meals for family dinners. That can be complex, that can be complex. I appreciate that. Meal planning. Oh my gosh, I value that. Okay. Again, go ahead and ask second questions, you guys, but just know I'm trying to get everybody's first question. I don't want to be asked like somebody answered somebody's like third or fourth question and somebody's sitting there and they've asked one question and didn't. But I'm trying. She says homemade dinners that come very like, can you teach me how? I mean, I love cooking, but I'm like one of those. I even have a YouTube video if you guys are gonna search it later. But I was doing intuitive cooking, and I might do that again someday. But I love cooking. But so I mean, for me, there's cooking because we have to eat, and I try to make it good and that type of thing. So I appreciate that, and I love the feeling of like someone eating my food and liking it. Not so much like for the praise, but it's like that they like my food made them feel good. Like I did something for them. So I have that. But really, my excitement about cooking is like I'm gonna look online for the most like intricate recipe, or I'm gonna like watch House Kitchen and try to like recreate some dish, and then I'm gonna want to get not just a regular plate. I'm gonna want to get the like I just take it to a whole effing never level. But I love that. I can't do that every day. Like I can't keep that up. Like then it's not fun. So that's my thing. Like I'll be like, oh, tonight we're gonna have beef bolognese with a sauteed creme puree or whatever, right? Like, and I'm like so into that. And then like the energy and the amount of work that goes into it, I love that. But it's really I'm just getting off on the whole act of it and everything. So meal planning ends up being a lot of chicken nuggets and French fries in this house. And then one day we have this like amazing meal, and it's like, where is it from? But it's like so fancy that like everybody has to like dress up. I'm a big deal with that. But I'm also recluse, so I think that's why I don't have I'm bored. Okay, back to your questions. Okay, anyway, so we got that. So go on to some questions. Okay, so here we go. Remember, I might not be clicking in this in actual order that they're showing up. It's just how I'm clicking it here. Can you see anything in your career path? It's a broad question. Would you like me to look at what career you're going to do? Or are you in a career and you want to know like what happens? Like whether you move up or you change, whether you get a promotion. Let's get into it. Say your feelings. Ask your feels. Ask your feels, Malanjana. Who is here? Kadian. Hi, Kadian. How you going? Girl? Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, let me do all the YouTube thingies. I need Aphrodite in here to like do that for me because I can't get that. But click subscribe, follow, like, share, talk, meet, greet, say hello, connect, rewind, play back, replay, wait for it. All of those things do it for us here. Well, I can say the subscribing on the YouTube, really that's about, so you just know when I'm going to be here again. And if you care to watch some of my other videos, so that's fun. I appreciate that. And I mean, there's never that many of us in here. Usually there's like most at a time. I feel like there's a lot of watchers, but people actually participating in the chat, there's never really a lot. There's usually only like the most we've had was 12 in here at a time. So it's okay. But if this did start to get like a lot of people in here, then we would have to do like subscribe chat only, like only people who are subscribed. But right now, and I did that last week, but I didn't really need to. I was just testing out the feature. But yes, so if you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. You can always see when I pop these up. And same thing on Facebook and what's it? What do you do on Facebook? Do you follow? You follow on Facebook. You like and follow. So you know when I'm doing these things. Awesome. And also, and then the next step, if you guys did want a private reading, like if you had more things to say and you don't want, or you just want me all to yourself, where I'm not yimmer yammering, because here I'm yimmer yammering. You guys realize that, right? Everybody knows that in these lives, I yimmer yammer a lot. When I'm doing a reading, I'm not going to be going on these tangents about explaining things or talking about my weather. So if you want me privately to just focus on you and whatever, you can click the links to do that. Okay. Love your energy. I love your energy too. It's a good vibe in here. We got good energy in here. I mean, we're all brought here for very similar connections and interests. So, you know, I'm pretty sure the knitting groups online kind of have a good energy because they're all there for the same thing. The makeup communities. Anyways, let's not get into that. Okay. Okay, let's try this. So I don't give advice. I don't tell people what to do because I don't think that I can read. I can tell you what's coming up ahead. I can tell you what I see about the situation, but I don't think I'm an authority to then give you advice and tell you what you should do about it. I don't think so. There are readers who do that. They like, you can go to a reader that's what they do. They are almost like a spiritual coach, almost like a coach, a life coach, those kind of things. But I just try to tell you what I say and then, hopefully just give you more information. Okay. Okay. I am really needing advice with relationship. Okay, girl, boy, girl, let's get our, I don't have tea. I have water in a really like unflattering cup. Okay. Is it good to move in together with the BF or not? I don't know. Can we all talk about that? What do we think? Do we move in with the BFs? How soon? How soon is it? Don't answer that. I'm here to answer that. Don't actually answer that. I'm the one answering that. Okay, so the question is, should you move in with the BF or not? Are we not or not worth it? So that's subjective. I can't tell you whether you should do something or not. It's how you feel about it. A person can do something and it might not work out for them, but that is no conversation about if they wanted to do it or not. Like, it's subjective. So there's no point in me telling you, if it's a good idea or not. However, what I can do is that I can take a look at if something, like, I can take a look at where you are today is how do I say? The things that you did in the past influence where you are today. And the things you do today will influence what's going to happen in the future, if you get what I'm saying. So I can take a look at the path that you're on and certain different things in the situation. So the question is, she doesn't know if she should move in or whatever. It's like, are we there yet? Is it not a good idea? It's all those kind of things. When I read you, I pick up more positive feelings towards moving in than I do pick up negative feelings. Like, this is me reading you. So if it makes sense to you, it makes sense. If not, I'm telling you about yourself. So it's a weird thing to do to somebody. But I feel like there's more positive feelings about doing it. I think the question about if you should are more like logistical, trying to be rational, trying to use the logical mind, like, but I get there's it feels good. It's a feeling good thing to do. Again, yeah. So it's a weird question to ask. I mean, I could rephrase the question for you, but I'm not going to. So I pick up, this is something that feels good to you. I feel that it's something that there's a lot of things about this that I can see that makes sense to why it feels good to you, that you have, like, I don't think you're out of your mind if you saying that you want to, like, if you decide that, that makes sense to the nature of things and whatever. If you were to say, I don't want to move in with my boyfriend, I think to me, it comes off of more of like planning ahead, being strategic, being very more not trying to how do you say? I don't say not that, not, but just trying to be more logistic. Like, is this a good idea? Is this a good place that we're in? Is those things? Are we like this? Is this going to be? I think that to me, that's the thing. But if it comes as to like how you feel about this person and whatever, or maybe even how they feel about you, I feel all that feels good. All that feels good. Just confused and so confused. It's a big decision. It's a big decision. I mean, moving in together is like, I mean, we can have girlfriend talk about this. We can ask the rest of the chat what they feel. What are the standards? Do you move it? Is there a time that people should move it? You know what I mean? It's very all subjective. Because, and I say it's subjective, and when I say that when I'm reading somebody, is because subjective is a situation where I could meet a guy today, meet him for the first time today, move in him with him tomorrow, and we could be in love and everything healthy for the next 50, 70 years of our lives. Have children, have everything, have a wonderful life. You know, I could meet somebody today, not move in with them, take my time till 5 years, and then it's not good. Like, you know what I mean? There's life is, and especially me coming from a reader, it'd be weird for me to say this is how it's done and this is not how it's done, because the weirdest things happen in life. So I understand, but you're asking about your specific situation, and that's what I pick up about your specific. We can go into further details. Again, I'm not trying to pitch my private readings on you and try to give you some just so you come for more. But the questions about, I feel that you have about if it's a good idea or not, I feel that there's some context in that. I feel like there's some things, context in that. And those things I feel like are a little bit more private. They don't sound dangerous or anything, but it's like we're talking about life situations, things that you are afraid of, and those kind of things. So I think, yeah, it makes sense. I understand that the confusion, but I think I feel what you're experiencing is trying to make for yourself. You're in a situation where it's like, let me see if I can make the best decision. I don't want to just go for my feeling. I'm trying to think logically. And that could be confusing, especially when we're working with the heart. It's hard. Those decisions are hard to, I think I cannot handle it. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm with you. I'm seeing some of the context here of what is going on. So there you go. And she also continued, I'm confused about what I got info about my boyfriend because he is bisex. You are confused. You got info about him because he's bisex. Yeah, okay. So again, I'm not going to go into so many details because this is getting like, and when I say things go publicly, or I want things to be private instead of public, it's not like a bad thing. It's just saying that I'm here speaking to a whole crowd of people. There's a whole bunch of, some of these questions deserve more of my individual time with you. You deserve more than me just randomly asking questions, just answering questions online. Some of those questions, sure, but this is a very complex emotional situation that you need more. So that's what I can say. And I mean, the question was my advice, and I just don't normally give advice anyways. All right. Thank you for the hearts. I love it. And the hat, is that a hat? Is that a smiley wearing a hat? We're celebrating. Oh my gosh. Hi, coming from Canada. I'm in Canada too. Canada! All right. Well, yay. Here we are. I get so excited because it's odd. I'm in Canada and I rarely get people from Canada in here. Actually, I think I did get another Canadian somewhere the other day, but Europa! But Canada! What? Okay, all right. Oh, since we have a Canadian here. Okay, well, I don't know where in Canada you are, and our weather can be quite diverse across Canada, just like the US. But is 19 degrees cold to you, Teresa? Is 19 degrees cold? It's like, because I want to say it's cold, but it depends on when the season, if it's cold. It's not like it's like a weird cusp of a temperature. Anyways, but you did have a question. But that was my question to you. It's 19 degrees, because we had a conversation earlier about if 19 degrees was cold, and there was a person in the chat from India, and they were like, 19 degrees is cold, but that's India, tropical country. But I was like, I guess in the concept of, but I don't know, it's 19 degrees cold. Like it is, but it isn't. It's weird. I think 19 degrees to me, in my opinion, is like that weather that's right in the cusp. Like it's not, because 14 degrees is cold. 25 degrees is hot, but 19, interesting. Okay, Teresa, I just want to know if I have any messages from my dad. So the way I like to do readings with passed on is like, what would you like to say to him? What if he was here? What would you like to say to him? And I like to act as the middle person. People who are passed on don't generally, but I mean, I will look. Because the thing is, like, I might look and he might not have like a direct message for you. And it's not like I'm trying to get out of reading passed on people or whatever. But it's just when you're passed on, you know, you can't communicate with your person. But let me take a look, because the thing is, as I'm reading you, Teresa, and your questions from your dad, I get that there is something that you're experiencing in your life that his insight or what he has to say, you would find value to it. So I get it's like kind of like, just what message, but I feel like there's some things, if that makes sense. So I can look at it like that. See, I knew it was something more than just, my loved one passed, like whatever. I felt like there's a story to be told, and it was because he's passed. And that's what I appreciate mediumship readings. It's like when you have, you need to know things about the person, or you have something to say or something. So anyways, no, I live in Alberta, but it's cold out here right now. Okay. So is 19 degrees cold to you? Back on okay. He was not in my life when he was alive. And I just want to know, does he have anything to say? Me, Murphy's art. He's wondering about me. Okay. So when I take a look at your dad, again, this is between you and your dad. So I'm going to say some things that I pick up. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but these are, I'm convicted to what I pick up. One, he's showing me, I'm like, it's like, as I step into it, I'm seeing a lot of you as a child, like a young, like maybe, what do you look like? 6'5", actually 6'5", younger, but there's mainly the 6'5" age. And it's like, he, I don't know if he was physically present in your life at that time, but there's a lot of, like he really had a connection with you at that time. So it's almost like it's almost like his energy is showing me that it's like if he were to reflect on you or whatever, it's like that's what he has. It's almost like it seems like the older you were, that's where it was more strange to him, or you became foreign. So it's kind of like, let's say I was in with a family and stuff. Yeah, I was never raised. Yeah. But but your age, 5 and 6, it looks like either it was like he used to get pictures of you or see pictures of you. There was some kind of connection that he had with you around that time. And I'll go into it further, because it's like I'm seeing like young child with the, kid hairstyles and that, and there's a warm feeling. There is some distance that he's showing me about that time, but there is like this warm feeling. Everything beyond that, like beyond 6 yeah, 6, 7, 8. It's like he doesn't have anything. Like there's no I don't want to say memories because he's passed, but you know what I mean? Like it seems like that's the area of your life that was for some reason significant to him. Okay, so moving on from that, as we're communicating with him, there's this like okay, I'm doing this, and I know it sounds like it's you, and he's like, ugh, but it's not. But it's like there's a thing in between, and it's like it is so for him. This is his perspective, so I'm not saying this is right or wrong, or that you should love this. You might be like, and yeah, I don't like that, but that's how it was, right? So this is I don't have any there's no judgment from me. The judgment is for you, and you're allowed to have it. So this thing, so it's like his perception is like there's this thing. I'm just gonna call it a thing for now, but it does feel like people. And it not only does it feel like people, it feels like a boundary. And it's like he is upset at that boundary, and he's like upset at that. So it's almost like a situation where it's like he perceived it as like something. I'm not to say they were stopping him from seeing you or being, but it's like they were being a certain way and he didn't like that way. So he wanted to get away from that. Now, to put it in context, it's like somebody could be in a situation like that and they don't like what the people, but they're like, I'm going to fight against. It's almost like he's like, no, like it was whatever. So I can't, I don't want to speak out of turn, but it doesn't feel like, it could. Sometimes those kind of feelings could make somebody feel good, but it looks like he was more like, I can't handle that. There's something about him that's like he couldn't. And it looked like he would want to, but see what I'm doing? It's kind of like so it's not a quite of like, no, I don't care. It's more like I need if things were different, it would feel a little bit better. But that's your older years. And I get that feeling around 12, your age, 12, 13, 14. Then there's this thing with him where he's like, it's almost like he's doing this and he's kind of like, almost like he's saying like he was an open book and that you could have approached him. Like he was saying like he was trying to say I was open and that you could have approached, like you could have, not that he's like saying, oh, she could have approached me, but he's trying to show that like, that's what his thing. He's like, after 12, 13, I don't know how old you are. Don't say your age. Don't share your age. Don't show your birthday. This is public. We don't need that to read you. But he's showing like, so whatever age that was, he's not saying like, oh, well, she could have contacted me or whatever. But he's trying to say like, after the push away, and he's like, I can't deal with that. He felt like I would be open. But then there's also something that I'm reading with him that he struggled with it makes sense to the other part I'm seeing, but it looks like he struggled with an ability to communicate, express. And when I say communicate, I'm going to switch that to the ability to have, okay, I'm going to use the word relationship, but it doesn't mean like intimate, just how to relate to people, how to have that. It looks like he had some challenges with that. They don't, well, I'm not a therapist, but they look like more like his perception, like how he like, you know what I mean? Like I think, okay, for example, I think I'm really good at relating to people. I do this for a living. This is my life, right? But I'm also a recluse. I don't leave. I leave the house. I go grocery shopping. I go for walks and stuff, but I don't go out and socialize. So I'm a recluse. So somebody could say, I have trouble relating to people. Kind of like that. Not saying your dad was a recluse. Maybe he was, maybe. But what I'm saying is like, I don't see that he had, I see it was very perception based and not like, I'm not a psychologist. So I'm trying to refrain from words and we're not private. So it's like, I have to, respect all the communications that are happening at the same time. But yeah, so I feel like that's what. But yeah, I think the theme is the open book. It's almost like a person. I get the image of a person who's like, I want people to come to me. I want to be around people. I want to. So I do have that intention. That's like a good intention. That's a good, but maybe, and I feel like he wouldn't admit to this though. Maybe I have some trouble with how I relate to people or what I do. And when I am relating to people and it's going good, I don't know what to do with that. And it makes sense when I see that it's almost like his the thing where he holds you is a 5-6-year-old, almost like that's where he felt he could relate. Woo! Woo! Where did we go for that? I don't know why I got into that so much, but if any of that made sense to you, I hope it did. I hope some of it made sense. Whatever didn't make sense, just throw it aside. I'm just a crazy medium type of thing. Yeah, he never did reach out. And she said, yes, I did feel a need to not meet him. Wait, and yes, I did feel a need not to meet him or him see me because he was never there. Yeah, like I said, my example is like, I am a recluse. I don't like to socialize outside, like in my personal world. I'm like that, right? So let's say if like, you know what I mean? It's like I'm choosing this. Truth, like that's what I'm trying to articulate. I hope I think you get it what I'm saying, but I'm saying like it was I can confidently articulate that it was. I don't see that he had like a problem. I think it was him and his choices and his perception. And when I say this again, remember, it was not my opinion. It's not. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying that he feels like he was an open. He feels that. He feels that. That's what I'm saying. But the biggest. So yeah. I could keep going, but I think we've pressed the issue a little. We've pressed the issue. Yeah. Oh, I just clicked on this next person. Hi Monique. I would love to connect with my mom if that's possible. What would you like to know if your mom was here or you're able to connect with her? What would you like to say, or what do you want to know from your mom? Well, my mom did block me from seeing him the first time. Teresa, yeah, I think there was some. Yeah, these are things that I want to get into more of a private. Like, you need more of my energy, but okay, thank you so much. There's some, it's parents are people too, like they, who people you meet in your life that's in your age group, and you like your friends or don't like your friends, or you like that person or don't, or that person. Parents have, they do have the responsibility to be a parent and all those things, but at the end of the day, they're individuals too that may make horrible choices, bad choices, and sometimes people have to make choices against them, that type of thing. So I think there's a lot that to be said about maybe your dad as an individual. And a dad and a parent can be a parent, but they're still an individual. And we can be upset at the individual, and we can say we don't appreciate those things, or we don't like those things, or those kind of things. Anyways, I will go way too deep into that because I'm feeling that. Okay. Shabtha. Oh, we have like 30 minutes. Okay, so how many questions I can answer in the next 30 minutes we'll do. So let's go. Patricia, I wish I had known how badly her condition was, and that I wish I could have done more, and just to let her know I love her and miss her. So you typing that, you saying that, you thinking that, you feeling that, she's received that. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. She receives that. Okay, so this is not really a question to her per se. This is kind of like you're expressing yourself and wanting to express yourself to her. So this is like if you were sitting there, you were saying this is what you're saying to her. Gotcha. All right. Okay, right off the bat, and okay, follow me, because sometimes readings, especially when they're reading past on like this, it comes off as like, this sounds obvious. But hold on. Well, if it makes sense to you, and we'll go on. Okay, so first, what I'm picking up, what she's saying, like when I say obvious, it's like it might sound obvious to you. Okay, so what I'm saying is what I pick up from her. She's saying I'm getting something around, and I know this is gonna sound cliche, but it's what I'm picking up. So I'm just gonna say it. People will be like, "Oh, everybody had something around the tummy," but I am feeling something around the tummy, particularly the first part. Like just below the belly button, like kind of above the uterus. I'm picking up something there, Patricia. Also, I'm getting a no one knew, like no one knew. So that's the response that I'm getting. So your expression to her is like, I wish I had known, and she's like, no one knew. But the way she's saying it comes off as like she knew no one knew. You know, like she knew no one knew. It's kind of like if somebody saying, well, not somebody, you are saying, it's like, I wish I had known. And she's like, yeah, like no one knew. Almost like kind of coming off as like, I know you didn't know. Like I'm aware that there was ignorance. There's a little bit of that. So there's a little, it seems like a little bit of an omission that I'm getting from her. Like she's an admission that, yeah, this you she understands that you weren't privy to it. Like she knows that. So you saying you wish you knew, it's almost like she's trying to say like like there's not necessarily a reason why you didn't know, but there's like she in the experience she could say to herself, I know they don't know. I know they don't really know. So that's almost like an admission. And it looks like your mother is like a little bit not wanting to admit that, but not that whatever, but she comes off as a person that is like, they're there, it's okay, like just, you know, like let's just not so much that she wants to push things under the table, because that's like a negative, but more like it's okay. Like she doesn't want you to worry. Like she doesn't want you to worry. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want like any kind of discomfort for you. And the fact that you were saying you wish you knew those things, she's just like, you know. So it looks like a person who wants to say, this is me, Monique talking. It's like, look, as I'm hearing her, if I'm allowed to articulate, it's almost like a person trying to articulate, I know they didn't know. Part of me is okay with the fact that they didn't know. And she didn't want to protect you guys. She didn't want to protect us. If it makes sense to you, it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, it's okay. But it looks like okay, yeah. So anyways, let me just finish my thought, and then I'll see what you are referring to when you say that. Oh, she wanted to protect us. Yeah. And okay, let me finish my thought, because we're so into this energy. I don't know why I'm really into the energy. Well, I do know why, but because usually when people ask about past people, they don't actually have not that they don't, but you guys actually had a story you guys wanted to talk about. So I think that's why I deeped in so much, because this is if you book a private reading with me for medium, this is how we're doing it. We're not just randomly asking questions. We have things to discuss with our past people. Okay, so what I'm saying, it's kind of like it comes off as like she yes, definitely wanting to protect you guys, but not just only wanting to protect you. She doesn't want to blow off things, so she's not dismissing that, but it's almost like she's trying to control the narrative a little bit, if that makes sense. Does that sound like your mom? And control the narrative is like you would say, I wish I knew. And she's like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, nobody knew. Like, you know what I mean? And not completely giving you the like saying like, no, mom, what I'm saying is I wish I knew it looks like that. I find it endearing because it does come off as protective, but it does come off as that kind of person. She's showing me that like, there's like, okay, I know this is going to be weird, but I'm picking up a cat. I'm picking up a cat, particularly a black cat, but it has white. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I don't know, because sometimes I start reading the energy and everybody's energy stuff's coming in. But I'm picking up a cat, okay? A cat. If that makes sense, it doesn't. If it does, whatever. Okay, anyways, moving on. So, yeah, so with your expression, she's saying that there's also, Yeah. Okay. It makes sense. Makes sense. She didn't want a big scene. Yeah, she tried to dull. That's it. And I wish I sometimes it's like I'm reading and I'm seeing. So when I'm reading these, especially with passed on people, it's images. It's almost like imagine a picture book. Remember the picture books like when we were kids, and it's just pictures, but it's a story. It just doesn't have words, and you have to like okay, you open the page and you have to like describe what you see, and you have to do it well enough to tell the story. That's what it's like. So sometimes it's like I'm fumbling for the word, but yes, you described that's exactly it. Just wanted to dull things. And yeah, not that you want to push things under the rug, but it's like, yeah, perfect. You know, dulling things. And you have a black cat that would cuddle with her. So yeah, I think you know sometimes it's like we have these experiences when the person's with us, and then when they pass, it's like it's like almost like so if I'm visiting you and we have an experience and then I just leave to go home, there's an opportunity to continue that particular experience or that particular emotion, and we can continue it or finalize it. Like it things in our living life as living people, they start, they stop, they start, they stop. But when people pass, we still sometimes have like we never finished that emotion. I think that's what's happening here. And I think that's the thing that she's really trying to say is that like she hears you, but it's really that she's saying that it's kind of how she was creating the environment. Like she knows you guys didn't know she was creating it. Like she's trying to say like I know I understand. I kind of wanted it that way in a way. There's a little bit that she's saying, not that she wanted, like she didn't want you guys to feel bad, but she's trying to say this was she knew what she was doing and she knew how she was articulating, she knew how she was communicating. And so that's like when I said, you know, when we have a visitor and then they leave, we can continue. And I think that's what she's trying to do for you right now, to trying to give you that yes, you're correct. I was doing that. That's what was happening. You are welcome. You're welcome. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The spammers are back, guys. Okay, I apologize. You know, hold on. Let me click the block button. There. Hopefully, I think it stops. I don't know. But let me try to delete them. And that's what I mean. I'm answering your question, Dejan, but I'm really trying to protect yourself from the energy. Because certain things that you guys speak about that might be vulnerable, there's vulnerable vultures out there that will watch this live, see particular vulnerable parts of yourself, and then try to come towards you in your vulnerable time. And it's hard to make decisions when we're vulnerable. So I'm here to protect that. I'm like like don't mess with my people's energy. You are very welcome. You said she wanted to keep things as normal as possible. She passed quickly. It feels like she never left my side. She's still there. She's still there. They still are there. They just don't have a physical body, but the energy is still there. And they are aware that they cannot communicate with you the way in which they used to. So anytime you have a feeling or a warmth or you have a thought that comes in your head, that's the way they're communicating with you. And they're communicating with you. You had asked me to try to, you know, facilitate this communication. And that's a way too, but she's communicating with you. You don't really need me. It's just not going to be the way I verbalize it. It's not going to be like that. But yeah, they're always with you. And she has this thing about her that she's like, she would never go anywhere. Like, she's not going, like, you know what I mean? Not that she's gone somewhere, but I feel like that's also a part of her personality, that she's stuck right there with you. Like, that feels like her. All right. So we got a couple more questions. Hello from Germany. Oh, wait. No. I don't know why I said Germany. I just saw UK and said Germany. That's because I've been studying to speak German. So I'm like, you know. Although somebody starts speaking German, well, actually, I can read German better than I can read German. I can hear, like, understand German better than I can articulate. It takes me a while to articulate. And actually, my German sounds like really, really bad. Like, imagine somebody did not, well, I mean, that's exactly what it is. And say somebody who doesn't know how to speak English and they're mixing up the verbs and the pronouns and the conjugation of words and the parts. That's how I speak German. But I think I can make sense. Can I know if my path is blocked? What path? And what would you, why, like, what path to be blocked? And by what and by whom? Spiritually blocked? I'm not going to read that your path is spiritually blocked. Like, your path, spiritually, you would never be blocked from anything. There'll be some challenges, maybe something that you spiritually want to do or something that you're spiritually trying to read, but not you. Like, you are a spiritual being, so you would never be blocked in that kind of sense. But when you say path is blocked, sometimes it's like if we're trying to accomplish things or do some things and we're having a hard time, it would feel like we're like, what's the block? What's the block? But your question is asking if you are blocked. So let me know and we'll take a look. What career will I be in from a year from now? Let's try to take a look. I'm seeing an environment where you're working closely with a gentleman. Almost like it looks like a partnership type relationship. Like, I'm seeing you, and it looks like an office setting, but not like your tip. Like, it looks like this person doesn't look like your employer. It looks like some type of partnership type situation, and it looks like you. Although this person might be a little bit more advanced or above you, it looks like you have a very equal partnership. Okay, now this is all vague, so let me get it. So, and it looks like that. There's a lot of exchanging knowledge between you and this, like, this is your day-to-day work. It's like between you and this person, it's like exchanging knowledge and exchanging information. There's a lot of documents to go through. And there's like, it's like this person is kind of like your leader. Like, it would be your boss, but it's your boss, but it's like you have so much weight within your position that it's not just like this person telling you what to do. Like, you can give this person information and tell them what to do and stuff like that. So there's this type of relationship. So this may sound crazy and it might be completely wrong, but it comes off like a situation, and not saying that is exactly it, but let me explain. It comes off like this career is a situation where it's a legal, like how about like the relationship between a lawyer and the paralegal, the relationship between like the doctor and the resident. Like, there's it's kind of like that, and it does feel very like, this doesn't feel like just like a job, like you're just at your job. This feels like career, and so it does take, like, there's a very strong title within it. It does look like something that you've thought about before or done, but it does look like at this point, like within a year from now, it does look like this is kind of new for you. So I don't think you've experienced this type of, again, it's a career, but I'm going to use the word employment. I don't think you've experienced this type of employment before, because I don't see this kind of dynamic. You feel very confident in the position, but the reason why you feel very confident is like it's coming off like you know exactly what you're there to do. So again, kind of like a paralegal situation with a lawyer. So while you would be anxious or nervous about working, you know, finally getting a job with a law firm, you're very like you know. So that's what I was saying. Like, the position is like in a paralegal lawyer situation, the lawyer is your boss, but you are doing things independently on your own and providing information to that. I don't know how close that is or how accurate that'd be, but let me know. And you said within a year from now. Let me check if the timeline's right. I do see that. So it could be a business office, like maybe it's not a lawyer or a doctor or anything like that. It could be like a office position where you are, because I don't see clients and I don't see customers, and I don't actually, like, I see like the nature of the business might, like, that's the extended part of it, but I don't see that you're working with clients or customers. You know, like you know what I mean? Like, again, if it was a paralegal or in law, like, your clients and your customers would be your clients and customers, but I don't see like that's what you do. So it doesn't come off like an office where you're like in CRS or something like that. You know what I mean? It seems very established. It could be working for some kind of government agency, and you're working in maybe like a clerk, like I don't know why I keep coming with the law things, because I'm trying to look at dynamics of that, but I'm seeing that. And you know, like maybe it's a government office, so you're I don't know, doing registration, but there's something that you have a lot of weight, like you're very it's a career, so I'm going to use the word professional. You're probably like, why can't you just tell me what like the career it is? I actually don't know. Like, I don't, like, because I'm constantly seeing, like, okay, and the office is actually, I can see the office. It's actually a small kind of office. And it's like an office where it could be like, this office is inside a larger building. And so you would have to go in the building, and there's like a bunch of different kinds of businesses and different offices, and you go in and you work at this one. I do see like you would have your own desk or your own area somewhat. And like this person, and there's a lot of coming in and out of this place, but you kind of go there. I do feel like clients and customers come into, like, it could be a place where it has, but it's small. I'm actually even seeing brown kind of like, this is like, I'm seeing the details of it, but let me look at the walls, see, I can see like what the titles of these people are. Immigration, I think it has something to do with law. I do. I'm gonna stick to that. So come back to me in a year from now and let me know if that's what's going on. Okay. I was told I have spiritual gifts, but I feel like I can't open it. We have about 20 minutes. I was told I have spiritual gifts, but I can't open it. We all have spiritual gifts. Yeah, let me, Carol. Kadian is like, okay, I don't know what the hell she's talking about, but I see what I see. So, like, it's not that I'm gonna like go back and see something else. Like, I'm just showing you what popped up in my head, and that's how I do readings. So it's not like I'm just guessing. At the end of the day, a prediction is a guess, to be honest. Like, anything's a guess. When you're articulating something that hasn't happened yet, a prediction is still a guess. You might be the most accurate guess ever in the world, but it's based off of what I see. So I find that interesting. Yeah. It will pay pretty well. It's going to pay pretty. I think you'll be on a financial goal to get to a certain amount and certain things. So you'll appreciate the pay, but I think there's like more, even at that point, there's more that you could describe. Okay, Mikey, I have spiritual gift. I'm spitting now because I've been talking a lot. Sorry. I have spiritual gifts, but I can't open it. We all have spiritual gifts. We're all very spiritual people. We're a spiritual individual. But I guess you were saying that the person articulated that you have a unique ability, that you are exceptionally well at something, but you can't open it. So things take time. I mean, you don't open your spiritual gift. You are the gift. It's already open. You've already been doing it. Whatever it is, you've already been doing it. You're doing it now. It's you. The fact that you're breathing. Again, I didn't read that you have a spiritual gift. I'm reading your question. So someone had told you that, but I'm saying in general, like, let's say you're really good at something or whatever, like that's how they would have read it because it's in you, So to say to open it, kind of like there's something within you that hasn't been released yet, like something that you're capable that hasn't been released. I think what we're saying is that there's something I'm good at, but I haven't figured out, I haven't learned myself enough to understand that, oh, I am really good at that, or I am exceptional at that. Oh, that's a part of me. And then there's that part of being aware of the thing. And then the other part is finding a way that I can take advantage of this thing and use it within my control in my best advantage in a way that I want, right? I'll give you an example. If somebody's like, if you have a child, and then at 2-year-olds, they open up to sing the ABCs and they're belting some amazing vocals. Like, they're like, I don't know, think of a great singer, Alicia Keys, Beyonce, I don't know, some of the other greats, rock greats, whatever, right? Janis Joplin, they're belting out the vocals at 3 years old. No one taught them to do that. They just naturally do that, right? But no one ever, as they grow up as 3 years old, they don't really take to singing. Like no one ever says, oh, you're such a good singer, I want to hear your voice or anything. Like no one really says anything. And they don't go to concerts or competition. They don't do anything. They have that, but they just don't do anything with it. So it's not like their gifts aren't open. It's just that they haven't been in a position where that would even be a thing. Maybe they meet a friend and the friend is the singer and the friend goes to a studio to record something and they just tag along. And when the friend's doing that, they're like, oh, let me try the mic, and they're being silly. And then they do it again. And it's like that moment, other people now are like, oh my gosh, you're good. So now they have an awareness of the thing that they were. So if somebody picked up that you have a spiritual gift, it's not that it's not open. It's just that you have not been aware of that thing, or maybe taken it. And I say this not meanly because I've done this, taking it for advantage, taking advantage of the fact. So when when a person's really, really good at something without trying, they tend to often be the person who don't recognize how well they are at it in comparison to other people, if that makes sense. Like me, I'll use myself as an example. Me with reading, I actually don't know how good of a like I don't know how to tackle that. Or when I'm reading, I just get images in my head. And people who have been in here before heard me say that. I get images in my head. I get a feeling about something. I get an emotion and I describe that emotion. I've always been like that. No one in my life came to me and said, oh, you're good at that. I just do that. So I had the perception, I didn't realize that was extra. It's just something that I've always done. It was when I got into situations where I was in a comparison where I was like, oh, okay, so the visions that I get in my head aren't like anybody else. The way I pick up things. So then so I've always been this, but it took a time for me to really appreciate that. I'd be telling people things about themselves or telling about the future, but I never thought I was psychic. I just thought I just did that. Like I just did that. That happens a lot with very empathetic people, highly empathetic, because empathy is a human thing. You really are not going to be a breathing, living human if you don't have empathy. And I know there's people very, very, very low on the empathy scale to almost have none, but empathy is not technically a spiritual gift. Empathy is we're just on different spectrums, right? But that happens a lot with people who are highly empathetic, that they would feel things other people feel. But if there's no comparison, like how do I know I'm feeling what you're feeling more than another person in here feel? Like, how do I know that? We would have to talk about that. You know what I mean? Or you become a medium and you do it and then you get feedback and you realize, oh yes, you connected that or that. You know what I mean? So I hate to sound like the whole thing about everybody's spiritual, everybody's whatever, how do you open it? But it's not so much about how much you open it. The more, the way to be spiritual or or if you want to be a medium, or if you want to be a reader, whatever, the way to be that or open that up is to become more aware of yourself, work on yourself, whatever that means. It doesn't mean that you have to meditate more. It doesn't mean you have to do more yoga. It doesn't mean that you have to pick up tarot cards or do that. It's learn about yourself, spend a lot of time with yourself, self-evaluation, understand, because you are the thing that is spiritual. Okay. Like you are the thing. If I wanted to be a boxer, I have to learn the thing. That's something like I have to learn how to do that. But spirituality is like, it's that energy in you. Like the only way to be more spiritual is to be more you. So the subconscious self is the spiritual self. So the more you understand yourself, the more you do. So I appreciate that you were told you have spiritual gifts. You probably do. You probably have abilities that are highly more exceptional than the average person. And when you say you feel like you can't open it, they're already open. They're already open. You're doing it right now. Probably one of the signs that you might be doing right now is because I'm spending a lot of time on this question. And so there's like a deep connection here. But it's not something you open. It's something that's there. You know, somebody said spiritual. Spiritual, that word is like, I have a unique soul. How do I open up my soul? Get to know your soul, be more you. But that's a challenge, being more ourselves, you know, to be truly who we are. Like, I mean, that's what growth is about. That's what age is about. That's what wisdom's about. At 20 years old, you're not completely yourself. There's still a lot more growth. At 30, not really. 40, you're getting there. 50, you're kind of more there. But there's a lot of things that can happen in your life that kind of throw you off of being who you truly are. But the more you can be completely who you are, unapologetic, whether if you think something that's different somebody, or you think wrong, or you not even wrong, but you think different, or you have weird thoughts, or whatever, if you could just be that way, unapologetic, that's then the more of you is going to be out there for you to do what you have to do. Wow, that went into a whole like soliloquy. Hope that some of that made sense. Gotcha. Said it does make sense. We have 10 minutes, so I'm about to head out. I am. Thank you guys for participating. Thank you guys for, oh yeah, here we go again with the social media stuff. Okay, like and subscribe, follow and share, notification, meet, be together, keep good, all those things, so you know when I'm doing this again. We will do this again. This is something I'm doing frequently, all the time. It is a public. If you want a private reading with me, you can. Private readings, I can talk more specific, more detailed, more those things, because this is public. And although you're comfortable with, it's my responsibility to protect you as an individual participant who just wants to participate in a chat. You know, this world is, I mean, we've had a lot of spammers in here that some of you guys have got replies from people saying, you know, all these things. So I tried my best. But thank you for coming out, people. Thank you for being here. It was awesome. And I will see, I always do this. I wave and then I click the button. And then the button takes like 5 minutes. So then I'm sitting here. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't click